Welcome to BumbleKast Live. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Kraus.
Hello. Apologies for the false start there. We thought we were ready, and we weren't for just a second, but now we're here. Hello. Hello. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I am, oh boy, we're getting inundated. Absolutely just massively inundated with questions from our wonderful supporters on YouTube. You guys are excellent, and we have so many already. So many.
Here we are at the end of the year. We'll try to get through as many of those as my voice will support. And if this kitten doesn't chew my hand off first, Meebo, buddy, we just started.
You know what? You don't need your hand to speak, so...
This is true. If you're joining us for the first time, quick overview of the rules. Please ask one question at a time and wait for that question to be answered before you ask another one. We will prioritize super chats and we will try to get through all of those. If not tonight, then before the year is out. Depends on how crazy you guys are. I don't know anymore. I can't account for it. Big thank you to Jen and Professor Rye for managing all the questions. Thank you to Kazi for manning the socials. That's enough of intro. Let's do this thing.
Yep. And also free questions are already closed. We will try and get through as many as we can. We literally are only 2 minutes in. So, yeah. If you have non-Sonic standard questions to ask, maybe try asking those, and we'll see if we can get to those in the new year. So, anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started off with this one from Miyu. Super Shadow fell from space in SA2 and almost died. Supersonic fell from space in the Final Horizon and was fine. How many, quote, sounds like a skill issue, unquote, from Sonic can Shadow take? That's pretty good.
It's not a skill issue. No. I mean, I didn't have to be saved, but Eggman had to get one of you with his robots. Just saying.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. All right, Red Rebel has a question. Mimic is willing to do anything to save himself, but what would he do if he found out if he had a fatal illness that would take him in only a few days? How would he handle an end he can't escape?
One way you could approach it is that he just kind of goes nuts hunting down medical. What's the word I'm looking? Not investigators. Experimental medicines to see if anything will possibly stick.
Yeah.
I don't imagine he would go quietly, whatever course he took.
Mm-hmm. All right, question from Badantigat. It's about all the heroic purple figures of justice. Darkwing Duck versus Espio. Who's winning this fight?
Ooh. Oh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Darkwing doing his whole intro thing and Espio trying his absolute darndest to not be jealous. No, it's very kitschy. It's too flamboyant. It calls too much attention to yourself. A ninja would never do that, but man, that was a good intro. And you've got the whole thing where Darkwing kind of fails upwards. I mean, he can do actual superheroics, but sometimes it's by happenstance. And Espio actually has skill. So I don't know. I'm going to call this a draw. I can't see it going definitively one way or the other. It'll be fun as heck to watch, but I don't know who would win for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Definitely. I feel like Espio would get into the quipping mood just because Darkwing Duck wouldn't shut up.
And, Goslin and Vector are actually off solving a case, and Launchpad and Charmy share the same coloring book.
They split the brain cell between them. All right, let's switch over to some super chats. KB is starting us off on that one. Is Gramps Trip Grandpa, or is that just a nickname?
I believe it is her actual grandfather.
Okay. Kazzy has a question. Right, Mr. Flynn. This is the last time I can bother you about them. Son Amy, of course. You thought you got away, huh? Ha, never. I actually have nothing to ask about them. As we know, the current canon is mutual feelings between them, and anything between them is kept behind closed doors with little hints of food leaking through the cracks from time to time. So on a last note, give me something wholesome about them. Give me some cope. Let's go out on this subject with nothing but love.
I think it is clear through game material that they do care about each other deeply in their own personal ways.
Now kiss.
I think if I gave you an even more sanitized answer, it would smell like Lysol.
All right, here's one from Hibiki 2000s. Take at face value that Shadow existing means the Black Arms invasion is canon to OKKO. What were Enid and Rad, is before they met KAO, Boxmore, Point, and the Point prep students doing during it? How well did they do? I don't understand most of the words I just said, Ian.
Okay, so I don't remember Shadow showing up in OKKO Let's Be Heroes.
I don't think he did.
But we know Sonic and Tails did. So if we take that at face value, that by extension Shadow must exist, and must exist in the world of OKKO, are we all limbered up for these mental gymnastics, boys and girls?
Yeah.
Then yes, we would have a Black Arms invasion. And I'm going to say that it was an impromptu team up between Boxman and all the heroes just to defend their little corner of Americana. A begrudging one, a dysfunctional one, but still functional. No, dysfunctional, but still effective. I know there's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all right. Here's a question from Twilord. Let's give Bumblelore a time skip grand finale. How do our dear Nermies react to doting granddad Southern preacher Black, quote, redeem, sacrificing himself to save his grandkids Shattuck and Harold from the isekai evolved godline eldritch plushy hive mind?
I just imagine
it's going on
this enormous ball of Starline plushes bound together Castlevania style, just rolling over the horizon, and the echoed voice ringing out across the plains. Fear me, for I am Legion. And you have our redeemed Doom in this scenario, looking back poignantly as much as that prune face can, giving a fond wave goodbye, Pa Kent style, and saying, "Don't worry, kiddos. Grandpappy has this one." And then he launches off like a firework, complete with a whee noise. And there's a very underwhelming pop. And then the Starline Legion plushie ball is gone. Everyone collectively looks at each other and goes, "What happened?"
I am so glad you knew what was going on in that question, because when I was reading it, I sure didn't.
Do not mistake my confidence for comprehension. I just gave an answer that I thought fit.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good enough. I thought it was funny. Once I started understanding what the heck was going on.
I think I need to coin that as my new catchphrase. Don't mistake my confidence for comprehension.
All right, here's one from OzJam. My final question, related to Sonic. A storybook scenario. How would Sonic in My Hero Academia go, as far as you know? Who would fit certain roles? Let's stick to the main heroes and villains to keep it simple.
I would imagine that Sonic would get along just fine with Class 1A. Would be quite the supportive individual to Deku. I mean, let's be honest. From the start, Deku's kind of a Tails. You can make an analog there, or parallel at least. And Sonic, if we're keeping his game powers, is kind of broken. So he's not going to be a good mentor on how to use quirks, but he is going to be a positive role model. Debatable on whether or not he could actually deal enough consistent damage to the Nemu early on. I'll leave that to the power scalers to debate, but
and they will.
It would be pretty sick that, you know, he can keep it in place, but he can't do enough damage to it. So it's like, oh crap, the spiny blue guy with the weird assortment of quirks can't even beat this weird crow monster. And then you have All Might swoop in and have the exact same sequence, because that is sacred.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's one from Bug. Before the Sega Shinobi strike, I must know, is the Sonic Channel joke character Tribot on the table? Could we see her in games or comics?
That, I believe, would be up to all the folks above me to decide.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying it's not up to me really to say one way or the other.
Okay, fine. Here's one from Professor Scruffy Matt. Kitsunami versus Mario, armed with Flood from Mario Sunshine. How's it go?
Drown the Italian. Flood is not remotely in the same weight class as Kit's water pack.
Yep. Works for me.
It runs out. No. No contest.
Nope. Mario is swimming forever.
Not forever. He has an air meter.
Well, I mean, forever for the rest of his life.
There you go.
All right, Haname YT has a question. Is it possible that benevolent members or groups of the Black Arms could exist in canon, or are Black Doom and his army the only members of the species?
That has not been explored as far as I know. Not in any of the game material for sure. And if there's any behind the scenes stuff, I have not seen it myself. But the implication, as far as I know, is that the Black Arms begin and end with what we've seen.
All right, Joe M has a question. If Sonic was in Shadow's position in South by South Generations, and he had a chance to warn a long dead loved one about their fate, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, etc., died in an earlier adventure, would he do it?
I think you could go about this a number of ways, and ask me this on another day. I might change my tune. But right here and now, I think it would be more poignant if he didn't. If he had the moment to, you know, relive his time with them, let them enjoy this time together, live in the moment, and not burden them with the knowledge of, oh, hey, you gonna die. I don't feel like that's his way of doing things.
All right, here's one from a watcher. Based on Shadow Generations writing, is the idea of alternate timelines existing in their own universe gone in favor of one single world? Or are Gerald and Rouge unaware of other timelines while Meph wants to get to Shadow's specific timeline?
I feel like it's open to interpretation if this is ever revisited in the future. So as far as I am immediately concerned, the direction I am working with at present is that there is the singular timeline, classic to modern, and stuff like the ruined, burned future and Mephiles are kind of weird outliers that may not have a full explanation.
Anything else you wanted to add on that, or were you thinking? Or
no, I feel like if I try to explain this further, I'm just going to put my foot in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
And there's currently a kitten asleep on my foot, so I don't want to disturb him.
All right, here's one from Vixers. What was Vanilla like as a hell diver? It's the only way to explain her income.
Well, I mean, she made it back. She must have been pretty good.
Yeah. It's true. Good. Good. All right, here's one from Horseweave. Hello, BumbleKast. Here's to the coming new year. Let's go with his Starline Isekai. He's sadly brought in the world of Salute Your Sword. So he's sadly brought into the world of Salute Your Shorts as Kevin Lee, aka Ugg. Will the powers that be let him escape this summer prison?
I never saw that. You know,
Nope.
I do remember like the intro image, but I never actually watched it. But good on you for that deep dive. You're
That's
like
a deep
unlocking some deep memories there. Wow.
That is a very deep cut.
And see, I don't know whether it would be benevolent to say yes, he escapes or no, he stays there. Because I don't know if it could be a potentially nice premise for him.
I don't know which is, I don't know what's good or bad. All right. Hero Squad has a question. Time for my last Sonic question to be on a live stream. Starline gets isekai'd into the world of Terminal Montage. How does it go?
Frantically. With at least one kind of borderline jump scare. But it is absolutely hilarious start to finish. And it looks like he survives at the end, and the credits roll, and then it's the post credits where he gets isekai'd.
Well, there you go. All right, Bunny Bell 3 has a question. Just how much did Starline teach Surge about the world and its geography? Sonic encourages her to see the world, but does Surge just think the world is a couple islands and some Eggman bases?
That is a good question. Like, would he have given her encyclopedic knowledge so that she could hunt down and end the rodent any old where? Or would he have such blinders on with his metacontextual nonsense that he didn't think that far ahead? It's like, oh no, I'm going to lower him to this point in this trap. She doesn't need to know anything else. I think he could go either way. Maybe I'll leave that ball in Evan's court. Let her explore that one since she's writing the book now.
She can figure that out. Bunny Bell 3 has a question. Just how much did Starline... Oh, nope, we just did that one. Sorry. Chaos Dust and Steam has a question. So, for the past years with the BumbleKast related to Sonic, what are some of your fondest memories, and was it a fun ride?
It was certainly a ride.
We've definitely had some good times.
We have at least one laughing conniption fit a year.
I will miss the Starline Isekais and the Boom episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, it all kind of runs together for me because we never stopped.
We literally, I mean, we've recorded at least twice a week for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
Right. Like, we never took a break outside of the occasional illness. And even then, we had like Aaliyah step in, or we had Metal Ian step in, or Metal Kyle at least once. Rye
was
pitched
here
in every now and again.
Yeah.
This show hasn't stopped.
Yes.
For years.
And it still won't.
Just thinking about it.
And it's still
no, I mean,
everybody's like, oh, this is the end of the BumbleKast. It's like, no, we're not smart enough to know when to quit, honestly. We should have probably quit years ago, but here we are.
We're gonna have a regular episode out after this one.
Yes.
And then we're right into 2024 hitting with a new episode. Like, we've already got the questions prepped.
Yeah. Everything's ready to go. It's pretty much just like, we're just going.
I mean, we're going to at the very least see this through to around 10 years in October out of spite. But
if not further.
Okay, this may sound schmaltzy, but honestly, the best thing about the BumbleKast is the community that has come together around it.
Yes.
The names that we see almost every week or almost every month here in the live streams or wherever, the generosity you guys have shown us to make this show, the success it has been. it goes well beyond anything I thought it would have achieved ever. I thought this would have been a fun lark to get like some gas money. And no, you guys have turned it into something really special. And that I think is the highlight of the BumbleKast is you, the listeners at home.
Yes. We'll go with that. Yeah. No, I agree. It's been one heck of a ride, and I hope you guys will stick with us despite the lack of that blue furball. We'll still keep entertaining you, and we'll still be doing some fun stuff. We got some really interesting and fun ideas, so you might be hearing from the Bumble crew more often too. So that'll be exciting.
Close second is Kyle sucker punching me with the socks stay on. That still makes me laugh.
I mean, that whole BumbleKast After Dark thing was very, very good. I went back and listened to it recently, and I'm like, man, this is like one of the funniest things we've ever done. All right, Stephen A. has a question. Star Wars video games. What's both your favorites? Happy New Year.
Ooh, I have fond memories of TIE Fighter on my dad's PC.
Yeah, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter for me. That was a freaking fantastic game.
It was also kind of my first lesson in propaganda and indoctrination because I played a whole bunch of TIE Fighter back to back, and then I watched the trilogy again. I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be rooting for the rebel scum here.
Yep.
Shadows of the Empire on the N64.
Yeah.
Freaking massive game and some of the best cheat codes in any game ever. Ever.
Yes.
Dark Forces 2, mostly out of nostalgia. What else?
I still love the Super Nintendo trilogy, the Super Star Wars games. They're brutally difficult, like stupidly so, but I don't know. There's some, the presentation of them and everything is just really good. Like the being able to recreate the Star Wars theme and Super Nintendo instruments with the text scroll and everything is like, that's really cool.
And the Rogue Squadron series.
Yes.
First one by far the best of the three, I think. I think the other ones kind of got lost trying to innovate, but oh man, that first one, lightning in a bottle, man.
That first one is fantastic. Yeah, I played the heck out of that game. Another game with great cheat codes.
And, oh yeah. And there was an arcade game that takes you through the trilogy, and it was just a joystick, but it was, you used it for the lightsaber fights, you used it for piloting around.
Pretty sure that's just Star Wars Arcade by Sega.
Okay. Played that at Sega World in London years and years ago. Spent way too much money on that game.
Yep. Or was it Star Wars Trilogy? I forget. It might have been Trilogy for that. And Star Wars Arcade was the original. I'm not sure. Either way. Yeah, there's been a lot of great Star Wars games, no doubt. I mean, there's the Lego ones even. The Lego ones are pretty fun.
Yeah. So. Never played any of those, but I've seen a bit.
Yep. All right, here's one from Coffee. How would you handle a Knuckles and Piccolo adventure?
Lots of brooding. Lots of stoic cliffside looking at waterfalls and meditative grunts at one another. And then some fool would come to the planet to cause trouble, and the boys would take care of it, and it'd be glorious.
All right, Bubchirk has a question. The JP Spinball manual says it's set on a planet named Mobius. Sega's Two Worlds series Bible also had a planet called Mobius that was Sonic's version of Mars. Are either of those still canon?
That is not something I can speak to one way or the other. Like, I can't talk about behind the scenes stuff, whether it exists or not.
But is the place where Spinball takes place still called Mount Mobius?
I believe so.
Okay, then. All right, Walter has a question. How would Sonic react if Tails killed Eggman? How would it impact their relationship? Also, the kill was intentional and Tails is being self-righteous.
Got a little too big for his britches after Frontiers, I take it.
I guess so.
I mean, is it in self-defense because Eggman's doing a bad, or is Tails being preemptive? There's some context to be had there.
Eggman's always doing a bad, Ian, and he's done a bad that he has not been punished for.
What if he's just at home minding his business, programming some waffles for Sage, huh?
Well, we know what he's done in the past. He's certainly he's certainly done things that he's done before that have resulted in a lot of loss of life. So, I mean,
nobody's died. What are you talking about? Everyone survived the Station Square flooding.
Right.
Nobody fell down the giant cracks of the world splitting.
I don't believe you, Ian Flynn.
Well, believe what you want.
You are incorrect. I don't care.
Be the first time.
I don't care what your bosses told you. They don't know what they're talking about.
Your words, not mine.
Hey, if they get this far into the show, then they should probably get to work.
To answer the question itself, I don't know. That's something I'm not going to miss about moving on, is these moralistic questions about throwing characters in scenarios that they would never be in.
Yeah.
Because there's no right answer to this. It's pretty much just to tick somebody off somewhere.
It's just bait. It's just bait for people to post on social media.
Yeah, we've given you some funny haha roundabout answers. I really don't feel like getting into like an actual thoughtful dissection of the core premise.
Uh-huh. It's like Eggman didn't kill those people. The planet splitting apart did. It's like when Batman beats someone up and leaves them with life-threatening injuries, and they die from those injuries. Batman didn't kill them. Dying from their injuries did.
It's like the Batmobile in, what was it, Arkham City?
Yeah.
No. What's the third Arkham game?
That's
Arkham
Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, rubber bullets, taser wheels. Sure.
Rubber bullets.
Knocking you 30 feet in the air, pinwheeling. Sure. They'll walk that off.
Okay. Anything moving at the speed of a bullet will still probably kill you. It don't matter if it's made of rubber or not. That's not how that works. All right, Supersonic Fan has a question. What if Sonic enrolled in UA high school from My Hero Academia? Would he be the top student? How would the teachers and other students like him? Didn't we just do this?
We did something similar, but kind of going back to that mindset. I don't know if he'd be a great student, because students need to sit there and learn things and pay attention and be patient, and I don't think he really does that.
Sonic is terrible at high school. What are you talking about? He didn't go to school.
Yeah, physical tests, sure, he'd be great. The academia part, not so much. So I imagine he'd kind of get on the nerves of the teachers and become something of a folk hero with some of the students.
Yeah.
Some of the others might be like, no, you need to button things up. You're part of UA now, and put on some pants for pity's sake.
It's like, they don't make pants my size. That would be his excuse, probably.
Oh, please. Minate's got a full uniform.
Diamond Death has a question. If Black Doom was reborn through a larva on the Ark, couldn't he do the same by leaving larvae scattered across the universe? Or are we to assume that there's a limit to how far his rebirth can reach?
See, you have discovered my beloved back door.
Uh-oh.
Like, if there is ever a scenario where I can pitch, let's bring back Black Doom for another good time, I can point and say, there, we can say he threw a larva somewhere as a preemptive measure. Ha ha. And if we never see him again, then okay, there's no more larvas. So, yes, I'm hoping we can do that, because I like the black worms. It's an option, but it is by no way sanctioned or codified that that's the answer or reasoning. It's just my personal, very petty approach to it.
Well, there you go. Here's one from Seaman. So, Mr. Flynn, you have committed a disastrous writing sin. Everyone despises you for it. Kyle, Evan, Izuka, etc. How do you make up for writing a story where Sonic eats a whole pineapple pizza?
I was about to say, you're going to have to be more specific to which one.
I was going to say, like,
we're making an imaginary scenario. Okay.
Yeah. This is not real. Everyone's mad at, everyone's already mad at you for something. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which one? But the pineapple pizza thing. Yeah. Nothing. I walk backwards into the grave, flipping the double birds because there's nothing wrong with that. Sonic can eat what he wants. Come at me, bro.
I don't hate you for that one, honestly.
No. You're right there in the grave with me laughing.
No, I'm with, yeah, I'm always laughing. What are you talking about? All right, here's one from the Deleter. Have you read the 2021 Sonic and Shadow Sonic Channel story? How do you feel about a story using Gun in all but name in a corrupt role in a modern Shadow context, and the overview of Shadow's arc through the games?
Was that the one? It was a two-parter.
I don't know.
With the bomb in the bank, I think.
Maybe.
Hard to say because I don't know off the top of my head.
Either way, Gun's pretty corrupt. So.
Yeah.
Bomb in the fake bank. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. What's that Gun? I thought that was somebody else.
Maybe it was Gun.
Was it Gun? I thought it was a terrorist organization specifically.
Well, what is Gun?
What? I do think it would be neat if at some point we could explore Gun 50 years ago versus Gun of today and how Tower views things. Did he clean house? Did he not? What is the situation? Because Gun is, at least in the modern times, generally painted fairly positively.
Yeah.
That's a long way of saying I don't know, but it would be neat to explore.
Yep. All right. Gage has a question, or Gage H, or Gaja. I don't know. One of those. Or maybe none of those. As the Archie Sonic run has ended, can we say that in the post-Genesis continuity, eventually Sonic and Sally got together and had a family of their own relatively similar to 30 years later?
No.
All right. Alec M has a question. Let's say for a second that the SGW functioned by removing all living beings from the world. Would the Death Egg crash into the ocean? Would New Mobotropolis cease to exist?
Let me back up real quick with that last question.
Okay.
When I say no, I mean you can't necessarily assume that, but it is still an option.
Okay.
Trying to defuse that bomb that I realized I set up as soon as I said that.
Well,
And then the other one was Super Genesis Wave, Post Wave eliminated all life from the world?
All living beings from the world, yeah.
All living beings.
Would the Death Egg crash into the ocean? Would New Mobotropolis cease to exist?
No, I would imagine it would just kind of hang out there. I mean, New Mobotropolis was run by Nicole, but even in her absence, it would still stand up. I don't think she would have created the city and have it contingent on her being active. Oh no, Nicole went into sleep mode. The city's melting. Wake her up, jiggle the mouse. As for the Death Egg, I mean, I guess as long as its automated propulsion systems are online and it's got fuel, it could hang out there.
Yeah.
Drift around. I mean, once the fuel ran out, sure, it'd crash down wherever, but.
Would Omega and Geberal still be alive and technically? Are they technically living or are they not?
That is a philosophical question for another day.
Orbot and Qbot, are they powered by flickies or no? Interesting. All right, DDR Master M has a question. What if scenario? Child Sonic grows up in Spiral Hill with Tangle and Jewel. How's this change their friendship, and what timeline changes the result?
I wouldn't imagine much of anything. It's just poor Jewel has to keep an eye on two of them at once.
Yeah.
And then Sonic decides he's going to go exploring, and Tangle's like, I kind of like sticking to town. And Sonic's like, all right, well, I'll see you when I get back, and makes a stop in South Island, and you see how it goes from there.
Yeah, pretty much. Never comes back.
Then he shows back up in IDW Sonic, and Tangle's like, there you are. Where you been? He's like, I got a little sidetracked.
Yeah, for how long?
Anyway, this is Blaze. She's cool.
I mean, she is. Question from Waltz. Hello, Ian and Kyle. I was curious if the Egg Bosses or post-reboot Freedom Fighters had official heights.
I feel like we had something informal internally to work with just for consistency's sake.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have that hidden on the hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
I feel like we did put together something at some point, me and Aaliyah.
Some kind of height chart. That sounds about right. Seems like it would make the most sense. All right, here's one from Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs. Since it's almost a new year, Big, Tangle, Whisper, and Vanilla all decide to take a trip to Empire City to celebrate. How does everything go?
Wonderfully. You know, they see the sights, they hang out, they have a grand old time. They help Big get down from the top of the tallest building because he's looking for Froggy. Why did you bring Froggy to the city, Big? Well, he wanted to see the ball drop too. Okay, fine.
Is that where Froggy's at? On top of the ball?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Why else would you go up there?
I don't know. Froggy just goes.
Well, Tangle would want to go up there just to go up there. What am I saying?
I was gonna say Froggy just like kind of goes places. Like he doesn't seem to really have a goal in mind. He just goes and does. Like,
maybe it's all a big facade. Tangle's like, huh, we've looked over the whole city, but not at the top of the giant ball. Did you just hear a ribbit out of your pocket? No, I think we should go check the top of the giant ball, and I'm sure we'll find Froggy up there. Whisper, back me up, please.
Okay. I just want to say, Ian, we have a lot of super chats, and we're still getting more.
Okay.
So we are going to try and get through as many as we can. So please be patient with us. And we will
try to be more succinct.
And we will continue because we are at well over 100. Yeah. I just looked. It's like, oh, okay. Trange has a question. Eggman decides to try and team up with Lyric and Zavok again. How does it go? Would Zavok and Lyric bond over the fact they both don't like Eggman and Sonic?
Maybe. I mean, that's at least common ground to start things off functionally. But I think we all know that they're all going to turn on each other at some point. And it really depends on whether or not Lyric knows about the EM powers that Zavok has. Because if he don't, then Zavok's going to pull that rabbit out of the hat at the 11th hour and make things really bad for Lyric.
Yeah. All right, Cameron D has a question. In the distance, coming in a port is a ship bigger than any other, and accompanied by every other ship that has come before it. Now is the time to strike back. What is your mode of retaliation? Defend the Holy Land.
What?
A ship.
The ship?
A ship bigger than any other, and it's accompanied by every other ship that has come before it.
Oh, the shipping armada.
The shipping armada is here, Ian, yes.
I see. The Grand Fleet.
How are you going to stop the shipping armada, Ian?
I will stare it down and with my 40-foot long megaphone, speak loudly and clearly. That's just your opinion,
man. Or,
and then gleefully wait for the giant force field of 2025 to come slamming down.
That's true. No more Sonic questions. Just like Scarlet Witch. No more Sonic questions. Oh boy. Oh boy. Z broadcast.
Or
sorry.
Or just say, all right, fine. I will validate one of you. You just have to agree which one of you is right. And I let them destroy each other.
And they will. Oh, they will. I mean, won't stop them from already trying anyway. All right, Z Broadcast has a question. The Isekai adventures continue. Starline turns into a plush, but is inside a YouTube video. Inside a YouTube poop video. Will Starline escape or be stuck here forever?
I think he'll tear his own seams apart to Isekai as fast as possible.
He can't handle Mario constantly saying, I hope, or Luigi constantly asking, I hope there's lots of spaghetti.
If I hear Skibidi one more time.
Yep.
Seriously, how does that already have merchandise on the shelves and I still don't have my Starline plush?
They're very
this is
slow.
An unjust dark world.
Yeah, well. Sorry, Skibidi Toilet's more popular than Starline.
Like I said, we're in the bad timeline.
I mean, it's just the reality. Unfortunately, it's where we live. We could have Skibidi Starline. Why not?
No, absolutely not. I will go to war on that.
Yeah, I'm whatever. Fine, we'll be on opposing sides. I'm ready. Let's have Skibidi Starline. Why not? Why not? Oh, man. Anyway, Testing has a question. Evan Stanley got hired by Sega. Were you ever offered a full-time position? Did you seek to have one?
Oh, I ain't moving to California. Are you crazy?
Is that what she has to do?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
But no, that is not remotely on the table for me because I can't stand the climate. I need rain, Kyle. I need snow. It is so warm and bright in California. I can't stand it. Lovely place to visit, lovely people, some incredible vistas. No, I cannot stand it being just sunny and bright all the time. I need dark. I need cold.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other personal and financial concerns in there that
with California.
I don't feel like sharing with the class, but the first and immediate concern I have is no, too much sunshine.
Just don't go outside.
I hate it. Horrible, wholesome sunshine.
All right, Johnny Gyro has a question. Sonic's had many origin stories over the years. What if any of them apply to the games? I'm aware this might be peeking behind a proverbial curtain, so if you can't answer that, then which of Sonic's origin stories are your favorites?
I personally kind of like, on just the surface level, the Polly and I can never remember the mother's name. Brenda.
Uh-huh.
That they are just cool, doting parents, and that's where Sonic got his plane from, I think. Mostly because Polly's wearing a bomber jacket, and I'm a sucker for bomber jackets. I just don't like the idea of Sonic just has some cool parents out there, and he's off doing his own thing, and they're supportive of that, and there you go. I don't need him, transforming from Nicky into Sonic by his special powers. Not a fan of that. But just he's a dude who goes out and does stuff, and he has a family somewhere. They're like, cool, you do you. I don't know. I like that. That appeals to me.
All right, Night Fury Lover 31 has a question. Did IDW number 2 take some inspiration from Archie number 34? Some things leading up to them were similar. Amy even jokes about slapping Sonic.
What was Archie 34?
The slap. 134.
Oh, 134. Oh, no. No, come on.
Yeah, all right. Well, people try to find connections to anything, Ian.
And I tried to humor that in some places, but no, come on. There is zero correlation outside of Sonic is in the title.
I suppose. I mean, Sonic should probably get slapped in every issue, to be fair. Have you seen that guy? He has a very slappable face. Perhaps even punchable. Lord Van Oscaro has a question. Zeke unleashes his granddaughter on the planet below. However, the young Zeddy just wants to hug all the cute, fluffy Mobians. How long can our heroes hold out from this onslaught of affection?
Oh, I know what I immediately want to say, but that would make people mad. And it would be a joke, but I don't know. Maybe there's a lesson to be had in finding one's boundaries, and the granddaughter eventually comes around because everyone is very supportive overall. It just there's a lot of rib cracking in a couple of scenarios, and it's like no. But we talked about this. Ask first. Gentle hands.
Is Zeke's granddaughter Elmira from Animaniacs?
Zelmira, of course.
Zelmira, yes. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye. All right, Frozen Apple Juice has a question. Guess this may be my final. Starline Isekai time. Starline ends up in the world of Earthbound. Does he challenge the Chosen Four, fall under Gygas's influence, eat a trash burger?
Not super familiar with Earthbound, Mother, that series, but just with that prompt, yes, he'll challenge the core cast. Yes, he will try and fail to get some control of Gigas, and that's what gets him isekai'd by the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he has...
It hurts!
I don't think he has any hope of even anything with Gygas. No, just no.
And then he wakes up one day in a hoodie and house slippers with one glowing blue eye and is really confused.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Papyrus, I feel like I had a very bad time.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Speaking of things the kids are into. King's TCG has a question. What's the status of the Tails doll? Is it on the table, off the table, under your bed? Think we can see him return at some point? And how would you approach it? Sorry if this seems like multiple questions. Kind of does, but you know what? I'll allow it.
He actually showed up in Seasons of Chaos.
Yes. So he's still around.
On the table.
And under the table. And under your bed.
And in your windshield and just anywhere.
In your closet. Don't open that closet. You'll get the Ghiblies. Ghibli. SDHG has a question. Can humans get Sonic characters pregnant?
Oh,
no. I don't know. And I do not care to speculate.
Well, I guess this is the last time you can ask that. So, you know what? Get it out of your system now. Plorpus. Go ahead.
Force field's looking shinier and shinier as it comes down.
I don't even know what's going on, but other people are laughing and things are happening. Anyway, I think that caused quite the reaction. All right, Plorpus has a question. In the annual, the city from City Escaped is named Westopolis, but the intro of SA2 says it's the capital, which in Shadow was a separate city from Westopolis named Central City. Is this a mistake?
It is something to be explored in the future.
Maybe Westopolis is a suburb of Central City. It's the city to the west of Central City, and they're still connected because it's a suburb. Anyway. Oscar the Bearcat has a question. What would a modern version of Trip look like?
I don't know, because you could go the route of just making her, Trip but taller,
Yeah.
or give her the Amy Rose treatment and do something of a reinvention. I mean, either could work.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some modern incarnations of Trip that look really cool. So I would like to see her. Chaos Sonic 1 has a question. Are the Sonic questions eventually going to return? Now, don't get me wrong. It is your choice on no Sonic questions, but let's face it, most of the fandom is here for Sonic.
Fair enough. And I'm not going to say no, never, because frankly, I've given up trying to predict the future. For the foreseeable future, for 2025, we're taking a break. It's off the table.
Yeah.
2026, 2027, 2035, year 4063, because at that point I've been digitized and can't escape. Maybe, but let's not hold our breath waiting. Let's just focus on what we have now, be happy with what we have with each other, and just enjoy the moment.
Like I said,
I'm really tired of looking down the road.
Like I said before, we're not smart enough to know when to quit. We'll keep doing this forever. We did this. We did this with like no expectation of anything in return for it for years. So we'll just go back to doing that. It's fine. It's a good thing we like doing this show, isn't it, Ian? Otherwise, we would have stopped years ago. Now we have too much fun. So we'll still be here. Slashy has a question. How would Sonic's World / Friends fare had certain characters not existed, namely Knuckles, Shadow, Amy, or Tails?
Speculating here off the top of my head, if there was no Knuckles, then there would have been no one to really impede Dr. Eggman looking for the Master Emerald. But also nobody really to impede Sonic and Tails from coming to Angel Island either.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, okay, then with Sonic Adventure, there would have been nobody to find the Emerald Shards. So, what difference would that have made, though? Because that was just fixing the island.
Yeah.
It's the Chaos Emeralds that stopped perfect. Knuckles, this isn't looking good for you, buddy. I really want to root for you here. But,
oh, no.
Who else is on the list?
Shadow.
Shadow. If Shadow never existed, then would Black Doom even have tried to invade because he didn't have his Herald? Would he just have swung by, biding his time still? I don't know.
Yeah, once again, things are not looking good for Shadow.
Who else?
Amy
would not have been able to look after Birdie, which means Zero would have grabbed that emerald first thing, and Eggman's plans would have accelerated, which would have definitely thrown things off for Sonic and Tails. So there we go.
Yes.
She was crucial.
Finally, Amy is needed. Yes. Everyone else, screw them. But
she helped Trip out in Superstars.
Yes.
Nobody else helped Trip out. It's exclusively Amy's thing. So yeah, no, Amy's clutch.
Yes.
And who was the last one?
Tails.
Sonic
would have gone splat because there would have been no one to save his butt from falling off the death egg at the end of Sonic 2.
Yeah.
So,
if he even got that far.
Yeah. If Sonic even managed to get up to the death egg in the first place, Sonic would have gone kersplat, hitting the ground.
Unless, he got all the Chaos Emeralds because there wasn't somebody lagging behind him running into that stinking bomb in the half pipe. Jump, Tails, jump!
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Question from Anonymon. Costume party time, and Silva dresses up as a popular character from his childhood. Who has the heart to remind him said childhood is over 100 years into the future?
Hey guys, do you get who I am?
No.
Well, I mean, the world kind of ended in Sonic's time by his original timeline.
Yeah.
But, civilization's got to persevere because he's there 200 years later. So maybe just it was one dude with a couple of sock puppets and a bombed out TV.
Alrighty, Zagarius has a question. Characterization wise, do you think if Sonic had diarrhea, he'd smile through it or suffer painfully until everything was over?
I don't know, and I don't care to speculate.
Is
this a standard question, or is this a super chat?
This is super chat. These are all super chatsian. These are all super chatsian. I will say that given the way he reacted to getting sicker and sicker throughout Frontiers, and he's like, no, I'm fine. That's probably how he'd react in that situation as well. Pig Overlord has a question. Wario's isekai adventures begin. He wakes up in the world of Sonic. What hilarity ensues?
Does he try to recreate WarioWare Incorporated from the ground up to compete with Eggman?
Uh-huh.
Or does he try to rob Rouge?
Why not both?
Why not both? Well, he's got to fund WarioWare Inc. somehow, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And that everybody's trying, Rouge is trying to get her riches back, but she's got to go through all these mini games. What in the world?
That's right. All right, here's one from Sibuna R. I'm curious to know, who do you think would win, Sonic as Werehog or Shadow with all his Doom powers?
Shadow with the Doom powers.
Yeah, probably.
Werehog does beat up a bunch of dark, ghouly monster things, but come on.
Yeah.
Doom Shadow, or whatever you want to call him. He's so far beyond any Dark Gaia monster. No. No.
But is he so far beyond Dark Gaia itself?
I'll let the power scalers debate that one.
Yeah, you guys figure that out. Have fun with that. Don't ask us about it. Retsupe has a question. What would Sally Acorn's dynamic with Sonic from the games be like?
Largely the same.
I was going to say probably pretty similar to their dynamic post-reboot, at least.
There is the difference where she has no direct authority over him. Like, he's not part of a kingdom in that scenario.
Yeah.
He would just be, a hedgehog who loves adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe her frustration is that someone with so much power and potential could do so much if, focused on something. Can you work with me here?
Nah.
Why are you not working with me? And Sonic's like, because I don't want to right this second. But they're both ultimately good people who want the best for everybody. So they'd get along in the end.
Yeah.
So there'd still be that bit of tension between them. But I'd say largely the same. There'd be differences. There'd be nuances, sure. But largely the same.
Yes. John L. has a question. While rings don't exist as we see them in-game, could specific ones still exist, like the one Gerald found in the journal or in Knuckles' Chaotix?
Maybe. I would wait for that to be confirmed in newer material before saying definitively one way or the other.
All right, Surge Fanatic has a question. Why is the moon shattered in Dark Beginnings but not in IDW?
Because it turned around, you don't see the shattered side.
That's what Azuka said, isn't it?
And it explains all the other game appearances too. Why don't it?
Yeah, pretty much. oh, this franchise.
You hit a moon with that big of a laser. You tell me it's not going to put some kind of spin on it? Come on.
It's spinning so fast. It's like whatever. Oh. Glad we don't have to answer these questions anymore, Ian. By which I mean you. Zonic has a question. Silver, in an attempt to find the traitor in the Freedom Fighters, has gone back too far to the Michael Gallagher days. How long does Silver last? Oh, man. I still have a soft spot for the Mike Gallagher stuff. I'm not going to lie.
Look, I understand the premise, but why are the amoeba wearing clothing? I get that they're antibodies, but why are they actually wearing clothes? Who knits clothes at the microbial level? I don't understand.
It's so goofy. Thank you for bringing that issue up specifically. I hate that issue. Son Ugg the bog hog. Yeah, go back there.
Of all the issues, I feel like the bait and switch with the cover was the hardest.
I know. Yes, that is absolutely the case. The cover looks so freaking cool. It's because of Spaz. Spaz made that cover look way cooler than the actual story can even approach being. Oh, man.
That or Silver comes in right at like Mecha Madden. It's like,
oh no.
There you go.
Oh,
Guess I got that wrong.
Oh, this
better go back to my time.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
Yo, though, no, serious?
Yeah.
Spaz the Anti-Styled Mechasonic versus Silver?
Dude. Shut up.
Drawn by Spaz. Just give it to Spaz. Oh my god.
Dude, shut up. I'm freaking sick. Oh, man.
And just for rule of cool, Mechasonic gets the upper hand. So Silver has to tag team with Mecha Knuckles to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Mecha Silver. You know that would be inevitable, right?
Oh, he'd make it rock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Got it. God, it's so good. Question for Dove. So, he has suffered greatly. Can Starline get an isekai where he finally settles down and lives a happy life? Ian, what can you come up with to let the platypus just enjoy the rest of his days?
We've had a few scenarios where he finds peace.
Yeah, it's the plush scenarios usually end up that way.
Well, yeah, the plushes are kind of the end there, but I don't know. Maybe by the end of it all, you see one last isekai adventure and you zoom out to see just this whole matrix styled bank of screens. And he's sitting there like the architect going, and then I finally learned my lesson. I'm just going to sit here and relax because I'm done. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm fine.
I didn't ask how you were.
I didn't ask you either, Lyle.
All right, it's Hobo Joe has a question. I know you're tired of shipping questions, but surely Amazon's 2-day delivery must sound like a bargain. Or have you two always been a UPS or FedEx guys?
You know what? You've uncorked the bottle. I will refuse to do business with FedEx if I can. I was just trying to send a simple package off, and then I had to sign up for some account, and I had to fill out 2 legal length documents to set things up just to ship it. You know what I did? I said, never mind. I went down to the post office and sent it off in 5 minutes.
There you go.
And I still receive packages from clients or whatever, be it sample material or whatever, and I get dinged with the freaking customs charge.
Rude.
From FedEx, exclusively FedEx, not UPS, not DHL, not anything else under the sun, just FedEx.
Yeah, no. FedEx sucks.
Ah, humbug.
FedEx sucks. UPS ain't that great either, but FedEx sucks.
FedEx leaves stuff on the doorstep even though it says hide it from traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, they leave stuff visible from the street. It's like, gee, thanks, FedEx. Whatever. Knuckles Omega has a question. Tails, SBO, and Big enter a sushi eating contest. The judges are my favorite anime girls, Mitsuri from DS, Tsuyu from MHA, and Sakura from Naruto. The prize is a golden chopper. Who will make the best sushi?
Make the best sushi. I thought this was going to be consuming, in which case...
Tails and Big enter a sushi con. Tails, SBO, and Big.
SBO.
They have to make sushi, yes.
A
golden chopper. What?
I mean, I think Tails will try because he wants to see if there's any fun parts in that golden chopper, but I don't know if he has any canonical.
Is it like
a
motorcycle? Is that what it is?
No, it's the fish badnik.
Okay. That okay. So I'm looking at and thinking like golden chopper. What? Like golden like motorcycle? What? No. Okay, that makes sense.
SBO, I imagine, would have pretty good technique. And Big, I think the comedy answer, obviously, is that he's an incredibly experienced sushi chef. Like, effortlessly putting together stuff that you would find only in the highest fine dining establishments. And SBO's looking at him going, how? Big just kind of shrugs. Froggy's a picky eater.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's lazy, but I'm going with my boy Big. Pure favoritism on my part.
I mean, yeah, of course. As you should. Here's one from our good friend Holly. No questions, just support. Thank you very much, Holly. Very much appreciated. Always good to hear from you.
Happy holidays, Holly, and Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Our good friend Mighty Ray. Yes. Cadent Clock 39 has a question. Simply a chance for some light fun here, but imagine, if you will, an all-out brawl with Sonic and Ganondorf at the end of Tears of the Kingdom. Wouldn't that just be fun? Especially the last bit. Especially the last bit of it, if you know. Yeah, it would be pretty freaking cool.
I have a lot of opinions about Tears of the Kingdom.
We know.
But when you get to that last moment and that health bar just kind of extends across the screen, it's like, oh.
That's a really surprisingly meta thing especially for like a Zelda game, which usually is pretty grounded, but to have it actually go literally off the screen with the health bar like that is like, oh, okay.
And then the first time you get hit and you're like, oh, I thought I was prepared. Nope.
Yeah.
And then each new interaction in that fight was surprising but felt earned with all the mechanics that they had introduced. And then the finale was the kind of spectacle that I feel like the rest of the game wish it had achieved. So adding Sonic to the mix, you basically have all the cool stuff from Tears of the Kingdom done in the Frontiers engine, and that's a win.
Pretty much. Does Sonic have Caliburn or the Master Sword?
Master Caliburn.
Okay. Talking Master Sword. Oh, so it's Phi. Got it. Got it. Or maybe he's dual wielding. Maybe it's both.
Ooh.
And they're both talking. They won't shut up. Even Sonic's fed up with him, and he's the one who freaking can't stop blabbing on about anything. Oh, boy. They do not get along. But that's what makes it fun. All right, Crystal Diamond C has a question. After years of getting kicked across the franchise, Tails accidentally lands a blow on Shadow that hurls him into next week. How do they both react?
I think equal measures surprise and alarm. Because, holy crap, he got a hit in. Oh no, he's got to do it again.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. Onyxodon has a question. What if Starline, instead of dying, went through a Mr. Tinker amnesia after issue 50? What would have happened to him? Happily ever after or not?
let's go with the kind of fitting bookend type of thing. And he winds up in Windmill Village, taking over Tinker's shop. I mean, nobody there really knew Starline. He was up on the face ship the entire time.
Yeah.
And they find it kind of odd that here's yet another mechanic who just kind of wanders into town. But hey, they really miss that Mr. Tinker fella, so welcome aboard.
Would Surge come in and try to turn him back? Not out of anything other than just pure, just like trying to get answers from him or something, or trying to take him to task for what he's done.
No.
Or...
She tried to make him kiss the belt sander.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If Surge finds out, the Isekai adventures continue. So you know what? Let's ring in the new year on a positive note. Surge doesn't find out.
Oh, good.
Dr. Asterix lives happily ever after in Windmill Village.
Good. Dr. Asterisk. I figured you'd call him Mr. Stinker.
No, it just knocked all the other stars off that line. He's down to one.
All right, Onyxodon has a question. What if Starline... Oh, nope, we just did that one. Dang it. I'm so freaking... Sorry. Stardust Spectre has a question. Pushing this through before 2025, is there any explanation for Classic not talking in Generations and Forces? Between talking in IDW and being left out of the redub, I'm just confused at this point.
I don't have a satisfactory answer for you on that one.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was left out because that's just the game. There was no points where Classic Sonic talked, so he couldn't just reuse animations or whatever. That would be my guess. So, all right, Thievius has a question. For my final Sonic question, Sonic replaces Link in Majora's Mask. How far does he get? Does he manage to save Termina and help those who live there?
Yes. Might take him a few rounds of the old time warp, though.
It took Link a few rounds too, though, remember?
Yeah, but we're assuming this Link, because he has the experience from Ocarina of Time, has a fair bit of wisdom and power to back up that courage. So he can put things together. Sonic is not the slow and observant type. So he might have to he'll get it eventually, but I think he might try to brute force it for a bit.
That would make sense.
That said, though, what would a Sonic-styled Deku Scrub Goron and Zora look like? What would a fierce deity Sonic look like?
Well,
or is that just hypersonic?
Why does it have to just be hypersonic? Why can't it be something cool like Fierce Deity Sonic? Come on.
Well, I mean, base white with lots of colors and incredibly powered while throwing projectiles around.
Sonic would finally be able to swim because he could turn into a Zora, so he finally gets to experience what it's like to swim. All right, the lazy NGBot has a question. I must ask, as it is the last time I can. If General Omega, Nicole, Orbot, and Qbot found themselves on the metal world of Cybertron, what faction would they join? Would they even take a side?
Well, General and Nicole are going to go Autobot.
Yeah.
Orbot and Qbot would go with whoever has the best dental plan. And Omega might go Decepticon with the promise of destroying the most robots. Depends on who gets to him first with the best sales pitch.
Would General and Nicole try to convince Omega to come with them? Or would they...
Again, depends on who gets to him first and who has the better sales pitch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
just imagine Starscream. Look at Megatron. He has one gun. You have many. Join me and together we'll take over the Decepticons.
I mean, that would make sense. All right, Vineclad has a question. Sega wants to start a Q&A podcast starring Night the Owl and Dawn the Rooster. Do you know two people that are used to dealing with Sonic-related questions that can voice act these birds of a feather?
Do you want to be dawn or night, Kyle?
People have said before that they imagine my voice for night, so I guess I'll have to be night.
All right, then I could just be really bitter dawn in the background. You want some coffee?
Yes,
Late.
always.
Usually in bed by now. Why are these people asking so many questions? Why are you sucking me into this show, man?
I don't know, man. I'm just here.
Of course, night is usually the one running the broadcast, so that'd be an inversion, wouldn't it? All right. So, Night, this question comes from Sonic Fan 1, 2, 3, 4. How does Sonic type with boxing gloves on his hand? What does this even mean? Is this like a meme or something?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Don. All right, Sonic Man 2099 has a question. If Sega did a contest of Sonic OCs, how would everyone select villains? How would everyone select villain-based OCs, like what Capcom did with the Mega Man fan contest in the 90s?
I don't know. It would depend on the criteria of the contest, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
are you designing boss robots? Are you designing characters in the vein of Infinite or Mephiles? I don't know. That would be kind of neat, though.
I think that would be pretty cool. That would be a nice throwback and an interesting idea to bring over to Sonic. So
The entries would be fascinating.
there would be millions. All right, Brett F has a question. Since you talked about your TMNT dinosaur idea, I've been wondering about something. What are your thoughts on the Extreme Dinosaurs, the dinosaur version of the TMNT from the 90s? It was a spin-off of Street Sharks, if you guys are wondering.
Oh, it was actually tied to Street Sharks?
I didn't realize that, but I guess so. According to Brett, at least.
I thought it was another IP that was trying to cash in, like Street Sharks.
I mean, yeah. Biker mice from Mars.
I don't remember Extreme Dinosaurs. I have a vague recollection of the designs and there being lots of teeth involved.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And not being really fond of those designs. But that is a vague recollection.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't know it's tied to Street Sharks. That's kind of fun.
The Extreme Dinosaurs first appeared on Street Sharks, apparently.
Really?
Yep.
Because we had Street Sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Those were some well-made toys, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? What Extreme Dinosaurs? Bring them back, whoever owns them now. I don't know. They might still be around, and I just don't know. All right, Rogers S. is here with a question. 4 questions involving Sigma. Can we do 4? Is he the green robot from Battle?
I remember asking Danny if that was in his intention, and I don't think it was, but I think he said he was fine with the idea. So quasi yes, wait for like official confirmation somewhere.
See, the same design as the early E100 series.
I mean, just doing a side-by-side comparison kind of looks like it.
Does he have a flicky power hang him?
I don't know.
And doesn't he nullify Gamma's story?
No.
Nope. I don't think so. I don't know why it would. Here's a question from Nixie Kitty. In Shad Gens, Omega says Sonic matches Shadow's physical abilities. Does this mean I should lower my expectations for Shadow or raise them for Sonic? Can Sonic flip a bus?
Whichever route makes you feel the best. Whatever makes you happy.
All right, the Shadow Emperor has a question. If you took a Death Leech to another dimension, let it grow into a second Black Doom, and then brought him back into the main dimension, how would the 2 Black Dooms interact? Would they team up, fight, or something else?
Maybe they would fuse together in some kind of horrible multi-horned six-eyed monstrosity.
Why not?
Otherwise, maybe he just grows legs.
Oh no. Not Black Doom with legs. We don't or maybe he's just Double Doom.
You can't defeat me now, Shadow, that I have these gams.
Oh no.
Catwalk control.
Oh boy.
Work it.
Oh no.
Strike a pose.
Oh no.
High kick. Can.
All right, Arc Beetle has a question. What if Infinite killed half of Mobius's population? Just snapped his fingers and
half the
boom.
population.
Just snapped his fingers. Boom. Half of all life is gone. What if he did that? It'd probably be pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be a bad thing. Although, if part of that half was Eggman, then actually that might be a good thing. Might be a positive overall. Zero the Black Mage has a question. Mostly for Kyle, but Ian, feel free to chime in or not for employment reasons. Are you still able to enjoy Genesis games, or did the words produced by or under license from Sega Enterprises Ltd. cause your heart palpitations? Oh, I will always love Sonic games, despite whoever made them. It's fine. Yes. Scurvy Pirate Dog has a question. Last Sonic question. Jim Carrey, who portrays Eggman in the movies, also starred in The Truman Show. So, Sonic Boom episode where Eggman figures out his life is inside a video game. What happens?
Well, wait, we're saying Sonic Boom, right?
Sonic Boom episode, yes.
So not video game so much as the Sonic Boom show.
Show, yeah, TV show.
Yeah, I think you get better mileage out of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he would be, he'd have to make friends with Styx because Styx knows and has known the whole time.
Wait, you can see the cameras? I've seen them the entire time. You're a really good actress. Yes, I know.
It's not acting.
I think he'd enjoy it. You know, he wants to be the center of attention. Now he is. And so he would be hamming it up until, you know, he's tired. It's been a long day of ham. He wants to go to bed now.
Ma'am.
But there's the camera. That's kind of creepy. Wishes you just cut commercial so he could have his breakfast in peace. Please.
Yeah.
Starts building a doom laser atop his volcano layer just to blast down the soundstage. Be real with me, Dave. Is Matt Barker just part of the act, or is this like a cross promotion thing? I don't think I'm legally allowed to say.
Product placement. All right, Nicholas S. has a question. In the Otherworld comedy Sonic Channel stories, Silver becomes a genius ice skater and coach. If Silver can be so good at ice skating / coaching, then how well can he learn / teach other subjects?
Well, that's the magic of Isekai, is anything is possible.
Silver's still young and impressionable. I'm sure he can learn plenty. He can absorb a whole lot. Too much as it sometimes.
I mean, I think he gravitated more towards skating specifically in terms of winter sports because that's no sluice.
Get out, Ian.
No, we have lots of priority questions still.
Fired from a cannon specifically. I hate that I'm laughing. Just kidding. I don't hate that I'm laughing. I'm always laughing. What are you talking about? All right, OZ Productions has a question. There's been threats to Princess Elise, so Gun and the Restoration send the Diamond Cutters to protect her. How well does Elise get along with each member, and do they catch the bad guys?
Lovely time with Tangle. Is a little intimidated by Whisper, but they get along. And enjoys the practicality of Lanolin. Like, legit. Enjoys the rigorous schedule and, all the itinerary and making sure everything is covered. Appreciates the effort, and Lanolin appreciates being appreciated.
Finally.
And yeah, I get the bad guy.
Finally, someone's happy with Lanolin. Good. As they should be, dang
Good
it.
time had by all, except for the bad guy.
Lanolin works very hard. BumbleKast Asker has a question. Your site says you not only worked on the Sonic Encyclopedia, but the Mario Encyclopedia as a localizer. Are you the bane of Mario Wiki's plagiarism ills? What?
Yeah, that one's going over my head. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time you've gotten blamed for things, Ian, but that you have no idea about.
Like, all I know is with the Mario Encyclopedia, I was given the raw Japanese to English translation and just made it sound more proper English.
Okay. Should have known you were secretly Miyamoto this whole time.
I've secretly sprinkled uncles throughout all of America. You'll never know the truth.
All right, Might of Gebera has a question. Told me to come back. Did the time meter erase the concepts of time, space, and reality? Why are some parts of white space active in Shadow Generations?
That's just the nature of white space. White space is weird.
It's very white and very spacious. I mean, why not?
I mean, also in Shadow side of things, Black Doom is doing something, so maybe that's a factor.
Yeah. Question for Happy Times. Surge and Kit see into the multiverse. What kind of existential crisis do they have, seeing all their variants or reflections of what Starline turned them into instead of who they originally were?
Surge might actually find comfort in that.
Really?
That she's not alone. That she's not a singular victim, or it wasn't a momentary lapse or weakness on her part. Starline did bad things across the multiverse to multiple versions of her, and if it happened more than once, the problem can't be her. The problem is clearly Starline.
I mean, yeah. All right, Vivio the Shadow Mage has a question. Take your pick of any Sonic antagonist. They just did the most villainous, most ruthless, most heinous thing possible. They made Cream and Sage cry at the same time. What do Eggman and Vanilla do once they find out?
Whatever it is, you don't find the body.
Oh, the murder. Oh, the murder.
Just kind of nods respectfully to Vanilla. You Helldivers really know how to get the job done.
Well, there you go. Nice callback. Wonder Pikachu 12 has a question. The official set of Amy's fortune cards are what her cards actually are in universe, but the minor arcana depict other characters. Are her cards custom made, or is someone selling cards with a koala from another dimension?
I'd have to go back and reread the manual, but I'm pretty sure it said in there that this is her custom deck that she is modified.
Yeah. I mean, that would make the most sense. Pyro Dolphin has a question. Sonic and Tails, flying the tornado, accidentally crashed into Jules Vale. This prompts a certain, quote, Archer of Justice, unquote, to go investigate. How would this interaction go?
Well, I mean, you have to fight. I mean, she's a rival of Aether after all.
That's right.
But it would be fun. and then they would somehow team up to take down Badger Co. I'm not sure where the plot goes for that, but it happens.
Yes. There you go. Fang X Trip has a question. We now know Blaze was originally developed as a tsundere towards Sonic and Rush, according to dev documents. Could we see that side of her in the future?
Can't really confirm or deny what the licensor has plans for its own property.
Alrighty. Sunny Alternativity has a question. How would you incorporate Sally Acorn into the mainline continuity?
Say that she's princess of the kingdom of Acorn, which is on that island over there. Has been the whole time. What are you talking about?
It's over there. Yep. It's over there. Alrighty, we've got 150 super chats. We're about an hour and a half in. We keeping on rolling?
150
total.
Additional?
Total. We have
total.
We are, and they're still rolling in. We are about, what is it? What is this? 80 questions in so far? 80 super chats in to answering them?
All right. Well, we still got a half hour. Let's keep on rolling.
At least half hour. We'll keep on going. We'll probably go a little long. All right. Smash Zapper 85 has a question. I request this be saved for the end. Sorry, we can't do that. The finale to Starline's Isekai adventures. You decide where he goes.
Well, we already kind of did that, didn't we?
We have done it multiple times. People seem to really be expecting they're going to be the last Starline Isekai. It's like, nope, you're not. Sorry.
Now he winds up in like the Isekai hub, the Hubakai, the Isa hub, whatever. Having finally learned from all his past mistakes and transgressions, and has decided to just retire from all of it. Good, bad, doesn't matter. He's removing himself from the scenario to live happily ever after by himself.
Good. All right, Meme Boy 69 has a question. Nice. King Sonic finally decides to introduce the family to the twins' namesakes. How does the meeting go, particularly between the Sonias and the Manics?
As in he's introducing child Sonia and Manic
his daughter Sonia and Manic to his brother and sister Sonia and Manic, I assume.
Okay, so they're coming across the multiverse to say, hey.
Sup?
And Sally is unfazed because she knows Sonic goes on multiverse adventures. Did that when he was 16. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Sonia is happy. Child Sonia is happy because now she has a new aunt and an uncle. Awesome. And Child Manic is like, wait, there's other worlds to explore. Let's go.
Alrighty. Well, that would make sense. The normal person has a question. Spectacular Spider Lemur Tangle and the two Spider-Men, Peter and Miles, team up. What adventures ensue?
I mean, any good old-fashioned spider adventure. It's the three of them.
Yes.
Lots of swinging, lots of quipping, lots of kicking the faces.
Yeah, none of them can shut up, especially Peter and Tangle.
Like Tangle's learning the entire spider lore on the fly and loving every second of it?
Yes. All right, Aurasfiel has a question. I offer a reverse of the first question I ever asked. Instead of Shadow giving Whisper a real gun, Whisper gets Shadow a variable Wispon. What sick moves can he do with it, assuming Wisps like him?
Kind of depends on which Wisps are with him. And, I don't know, I'm kind of spoiled for choice on this one. Like, really, what Wisps does he have with him to power that variable Wispon, and what do it do? I mean, do we want to just basically give him his move set out of Shadow Generations, but make it Wisp powered now via the Wispon?
Sure.
Maybe they're all little broody gremlin critters who like his attitude.
I'm seeing bomb. It's a suggestion.
Doom blast. There you go. Throw the bomb, blast the critter into the air, jump up to said critter, kick it in face. Yeah, it works.
There you go. All right, Dario F has a question. What does Sonic usually eat for breakfast?
Chili dogs.
What does he eat for dinner?
Chili dogs.
What does he eat for lunch?
Chili dogs.
What's he eat for a snack?
Pineapple pizza. Whole pizza.
Oh!
He's a monster.
Rude. All right, Weird Caswell has a question. You get a 4-issue Sonic comic. It can be any universe or continuity, and all characters are on the table. What do?
I already did that. That's how IDW started.
But not all characters were on the table there, Ian. Come on.
No, okay. Multiverse hop. Celebrate Sonic publication across all countries and continents and eras.
Yeah.
Or maybe do a finale to all the outstanding Sonic media. Tie a bow on Adventures of Sad AM, Underground. Does X really need one?
Maybe.
Boom. Sonic mainline, Sonic going wrong, helping tip things over in the direction they need to do to get a happily ever after for everybody else.
There you go. All right, no originality as a question. Let's end my Sonic question with literally the end. Battle of World-Ending Moons. Who do you think will be obliterated first? Nyx from Persona 3 or the end?
I don't know anything about Persona 3.
Or Persona at all, sorry.
Eh.
Sorry, we are... the best I know about Persona is music from especially 4 and 5, but that's it. I'm being told Nyx probably, but...
I will take your sagely advice on that one.
Yeah, yep. Farron Z has a question. Whisper has landed in the Arkhamverse and must team up with Batman to take back Arkham Asylum from the Joker. How quickly did they pull it off, and how would they bond over losing those they care about?
Probably get it done in double time, because all Bats has to do is lay down the ground rule of no lethal shots.
Yeah.
But given what he does to those people in that game, that's a very broad definition.
Hey, they don't die from him. They die from bleeding out from their injuries. That's not his fault.
And, they just each take a wing of the arc of the asylum, and there you go. Speed run Arkham Asylum.
Pretty much over, yeah.
Yeah. While he really wants the satisfaction of doing the job himself, Bat sends Whisper after Joker because she's not going to respond to any of his stuff, and that's going to drive Joker up the wall, and that makes Batman kind of smile on the inside.
Wow. He actually does smile on the inside. All right, CK has a question. Seeing as Jason Griffith and Ryan Drummond are both on Cameo, what would the two of you likely ask or request from each of them?
Advice on how to get into the industry.
For voice acting, yeah?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything funny. Can't think of anything funny I should be allowed to say on the show, I should say. Fill in your own headcanon here with that. All right, here's one from Hedge. Club Rouge, what the heck is it? Is it a front for Rouge's criminal activities? A house, a legitimate club, a casino, a bar, a hidden gun base, a gem depository? What's the deal with Club Rouge?
Is there any reason it can't be all of those at once?
I don't see why not. I don't see why not. It can be whatever you want it to be. Andrew B. has a question. Starline Isekai Adventures continue, and this time he works for Carla from the John le Carre novels. Who will Starline spy on, and how will he be caught?
John le Carre novels.
I am unfamiliar.
Have not heard of this a bit.
I am
but
a unread person.
But he's spying on people. We've got that established.
Sure. Yeah, these are like British spy novels.
Okay, well, we know how subtle Starline can be, which is to say not at all. So I don't think he's going to get very far or be very successful before the next isekai adventure continues.
Yeah. That would make sense. Viniel has a question. Hello, my fellow humans. If no one has told you yet, you guys rock. My last question is dark. Amy is beloved amongst most of the characters in the Sonic series. How would the main cast cope if she died?
First off, thank you very much. Secondly, I feel like we've done this one in the past.
We have done many where certain characters have died, whether it's Amy or Tails or Knuckles or Sonic.
I feel like Amy specifically.
What if everyone died?
No, that's because Infinite got half the planet earlier.
That's right. Yes. There we go.
He heard some monster was eating full pizzas covered in pineapple and just couldn't let that stand.
Yeah. No, we don't kill Amy. We don't do that. Not around here. Anyway, what would the answer be, Ian?
I don't know. I feel like whatever we said months ago would have been the best answer for that.
Okay. Go check in the archives. All right, here's one from Maraka. If you're taking a break from Sonic questions or slowing them down, what topics would you be excited about to prompt for the coming months?
Oh, anything under the sun.
Anything not about Sonic that we know about, which, I mean, we've established we don't know anything about Persona. So maybe don't ask us about Persona right now.
I mean, other franchises, other media, as best of that we've seen, best that we can. Advice on the process, insight into general construction of stuff. History of other things that we have worked on. Topics that we've shown interest in, just to geek out about it. You know,
Yep.
Nigh upon any video game franchise, dinosaurs, recent science discoveries, astronomy.
Some people
get Kyle talking about music. You do a whole show about that.
Weird. Some people seem to be under the impression that we cannot talk about anything Sega related. No, it's just Sonic. Literally anything else Sega related we can talk about. Totally fine. It's just Sonic.
Give me John about Skies of Arcadia. That's an entire BumbleKast mini.
Yeah. I mean, you already did that.
I'll do it again,
You'll
too.
Do it again. I know you will. I know. Ask about Echo the Dolphin. Sure. Why not? Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Question from M. I've heard people headcanon Silver, Tails, and Shadow as autistic and Sonic as ADHD. Both those neurotypes have hyperfixations, where they get really into topics, and stimming, where they do sensory things. Would they do so if they were these neurotypes?
I suppose so. If that's your interpretation of these characters for yourself, I'm not going to knock it.
All right. Frost the Hobbidon has a question. Hello to Ian. If Insomniac were interested in a Ratchet and Clank comic, would you write for it? Imagine all the jokes you can get away with for the fun of it. Adventure and comedy at its finest.
Sure. I'm not super familiar with the franchise right now, but you know, if a licensor or client says, "Hey, we want you to write a thing," I'm going to learn real quick.
Oh, he'll do it. He'll do it. Don't doubt him. Butter Noodles has a question. If Surge was part of Sonic and the Black Knight, what weapon/sword would she use?
I'm going to take a page out of the mobile game and say she'd just be like a Viking invader from outside the narrative and give her that the Valhalla Surge look.
Yes, with the dual axes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready. Put Surge in more things. Intervisional has a question. Silly shipping scenario time. Sonic, Shadow, and Silver go with Amy to her parents' house for the holidays. How badly does it go? And would the trio be invited back, or would they be banned from the Rose house forevermore?
Shadow is the ultimate life form, therefore he would be the ultimate house guest.
Yeah, but Sonic would try to get a rise out of him, and probably would succeed because that's what he'd do.
And that's when, Shadow very quietly and patiently corners Sonic at the earliest convenience and goes, "We are at someone else's house. Behave."
Oh, you think that's going to stop Sonic?
No, it's just going to encourage him.
Yeah, I know.
Silver's a good boy.
Yes.
He'll even help wash the dishes and set the table with his amazing psychic powers.
With his mind. Yep.
And Sonic, for the most part, is just going to be kind of chill and enjoying how awkward the entire situation is. This is just fun to observe.
Oh, no. Danger. All right, General Jimmy's has a question. Sonic meets the Super Smash Fighters for the first time. Who does he get along with and who can't he stand?
God, that's 80-something characters.
You want to go with like the core roster, the core 8, the original 8?
I'm going to stand by my original statement about any kind of crossover. He gets along great with everybody. Super chill.
Yeah.
Little antagonistic towards any of the villainous forces, but still amicable because it's Smash.
Yeah.
But just doesn't jive with Mario. It's just a mutual understood. You stay on that side of the platform, I stay on this side of the platform.
That's a little out of character for Mario. Technically.
Yeah, but it's funnier.
But it's funnier, yeah. Yeah, it's more entertaining.
It explains why Sonic put so much oomph into throwing Mario into Minecraft World.
Well, there you go. All right, Pixos has a question. The Encyclopedia identifies Sonic 2 Master System boss as Mecha Sonic, but the same boss in Mania as Silver Sonic, which is definitively its name.
The little silver bot?
Yeah.
I'm guessing?
Yes.
I don't know. Wait for another official source to iron that one out.
All right. Child of Arc has a question. Could Professor Pickle and Jewel meet in IDW soon?
I don't know.
Could they?
Depends on what Evan has planned.
Could they? Maybe. Will they? Don't know. Darth Lord has a question. As a member of the new Diamond Cutters, Shard trusts his team with his secrets, like his crush on Nicole. Tangle, being Tangle, accidentally mentions it in front of a Nicole device. What happens next?
Nicole tries to act surprised.
Nicole is positively shocked. She's not. Nicole knows all, as she should, dang it.
Shard's a little scandalized at first. He told you that in confidence, Tangle. And Nicole's like, Shard, you are literally based on Sonic. He is not known for his subtlety.
It's true. It's true. Sonic's just like, what? I can be subtle.
Everyone just kind of looks over. No, you can't. Go back to the conversation.
Yeah. All right, Leah G has a question. I hear a lot about the lore team. What do y'all do? And is it more of a Sega of Japan or a Sega of America entity?
That is something that they want to handle messaging wise. So wait for official word from them on that sort of thing.
You work in secret. That's what you're saying. Very
Hey,
secretive.
I'm just in the room where it happens. That's all I can say.
You're just there.
Well, by telecom, I mean, we've already covered. I ain't going to California.
You're just there. You're just there. Got it. Ian has no idea what's going on. He's just here. Stash Hand has a question. With all the problems Lanolin has had with Sonic's whole deal of thinking as fast as he runs and getting things done quick, how would she deal with working with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Not well, huh?
She wants to go home. She wants to go home right now. Please.
Make it stop, please. I want to get off this
She thought
world.
Leo had potential, but then he started gabbing off about some sci-fi show, and Donnie's very meticulous and analytical, but just the pranks he pulls. Raphael has problems, and Michelangelo, he's a sweet boy, but he does not have an off switch. And why does all the pizza have pineapple on it?
Okay, so we've established Lanolin hates pineapple pizza. That's why she hates Sonic. It's not all his problems. It's not all his flaws. It's just that he eats pineapple pizza. That's the problem. All right, we got it. We figured out something. Heck yeah. Question from Void Vessel. Tails, being Sonic's brother, gets on his nerves occasionally. What's the most common thing they've fought over? I'd imagine Tails' work-life balance.
If they have any friction, I imagine it comes from Tails looking before he leaps, bringing up a word of caution. I don't think we should hit that with our faces just yet. And
What?
Sonic not wanting to stop and think about it, he just wanting to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Here's one from Henry X. Ikari. Ian, do you think Sonic has the same speed as Flash, or do you think he is faster?
Goodness, if there were just some form of event where they would be running next to each other in some fun, adventurous way next year
That you can't
for
talk
5 issues.
That you can't talk about yet. Guess you'll just have to read that and find out. Switchel has a question. The person and his controversies aside, what are some areas you think what are some areas you think Ken Penders does good writing in, be it your current or younger self's opinion?
Credit where it's due. He was a master at the hook. Each individual issue, each story arc, there was something to make you go, oh, now wait a minute, I gotta keep reading. I want to find out what happens next. And then you're in it for the next issue, and you get hooked again, and you get hooked again, and you get hooked again.
Until you realize you're being hooked over and over and over, and this actually isn't going anywhere. But let's not think about that too hard.
That was a lesson I learned from his writing. Again, credit where it's due.
Yeah. All right. Sponsored by Professor Rye, the best boy on behalf of Spoiler 1001. Mimic gets assigned a mission to kill Sonic as Shadow or vice versa. How does that go for him?
He gets a mission to kill Shadow as Sonic?
Mimic gets assigned a mission to kill Sonic as Shadow
As
or
Shadow
vice
or
versa.
vice
Either
versa.
one. Or both.
I mean, given the history and appearances and use of firearms, I would think he'd go with the Shadow route. That would raise the least number of questions, I would imagine.
Well, there you go. It would Mimic even like bother trying to touch Shadow? Like, seems like he knows that it would be a futile effort.
If anything, he kind of has a beef by proxy with Sonic, so I guess that would be his preference.
Yeah.
And then he, fails because it's Sonic, and Sonic goes seeking out Shadow, slaps him upside the head. You missed! What are you talking about? Tried to kill me. No, I didn't. Mimic!
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, here's one from Chimera Nova. Starling gets thrown in the world of Monster Hunter. How long does he survive before our Gravelos gets to him? Gravelos? I can't really tell. Font. Font is kind of screwing me. Anyway.
I think he'd endure a fair bit. Understand the mechanics of the world and min-maxing his armor and weaponry, and then think that he's ready to go. And he goes. He went.
He'll get gored by the Gore Magala. Melodillo has a question. A cyborg chinchilla gave me $5 and asked me to say this. Ian Flynn, set me up on the date of my dreams with Lord Eggman, or else. So, thoughts?
I'll tell you what, little chinchilla chikorita. When you're out of the continuity doldrums, then you can threaten me.
Oh, boy.
Until then, enjoy purgatory.
Or else what? You aren't canon!
Wave to Starline as he passes by to his next isekai.
It's true. It's true. Levi C has a question. What from the films do you want to be game canon?
Want is a strong word.
We can only say the first two, because we have not seen the third yet. No spoilers, please.
I mean, personally, I kind of like The Division. I like that the movie universe is its own thing, its own interpretation, and let that be. Let that be a special thing.
Yeah, but we could have Stone in the main universe. That would be great.
It would. That would be fun.
Uh-huh.
But in main universe, we have Orbot, Cubot, and Sage.
True.
Eggman has a pretty robust supporting cast already. Not saying Stone wouldn't fit in somewhere, but...
No.
I would not be upset if we got a game Stone, but I'm also perfectly happy with movie universe being self-contained.
Okay, if we can't have Stone, we can at least have Wade. Time for a Wade sweep. Bring in Wade, Ian. Do it.
Knuckles is suddenly very confused about the appearance of a bowling alley on Angel Island.
The flames of disaster. Let's go Wade sweep. Bring him in, please.
So here we are at the 8 o'clock mark. How many super chats do we have left?
Let's see. Well, so far, they're still coming in actively. I think we have... All right, so we have 5 from people who have not asked at least one yet. And then scrolling back up, we have, let's see, what is this? 54? From people who have already asked at least one question, one super chat question on this episode.
Well, let's go through those 5.
Yes.
And see from there.
Okay. I mean, I'm in this for the long haul, buddy.
Did I cut off?
Do we want to cut off super chats, Ian? Taking super chat questions right now? What do you think?
Well, we're going to record one last priority Q&A episode for the year.
Yes, we already have a lot of questions for that, so we should probably cut these off now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
Also,
baby jail.
yeah. Sorry, guys. Standard questions, unfortunately, we will not be able to get to most of them, especially if they're about Sonic. I'm very sorry. We are very much been inundated with the super chat. So very sorry to anyone who had a super chat waiting that we're not going to, or not a super chat, a standard question waiting that we're unfortunately not going to be getting to. It's just kind of the nature of these things. So yep. Super chats, we will no longer be answering questions from those. So we are cutting those off now.
And I do encourage you to look at the archive, the master list over at BumbleKast.com. It's been 9 years. I'm willing to bet your question or something like it has been answered.
Yes. We have a lot of questions. So, and yeah, I know we only did 3 standard questions. I'm very sorry, guys. We had a lot. So we have very many. So unfortunately, there's no possible way we could get to everybody, but we will carry on as we have. And so thank you everybody for your patience, your support, and hope you stick with us for 2025, but we're not done yet. We're keeping on going. Psycho and Chips has a question. Was Abe born on the Ark or on Earth like Maria?
I'd have to double check, but I think Gerald's journal implies he was born on the Ark.
All right, the Vortex of Flames has a question. How do you envision the dynamics between Archie's original characters, Julie, Sue, Mina, and Jeffrey, and the IDW characters, Tangle, Whisper, and Lanolin?
Sorry, what was the first half of that?
How do you envision the dynamics between Archie's original characters, Julie, Sewell, Mina, and Jeffrey? Julie Sewell with Tangle, Whisper, and Lanolin.
Julie Sue, I think, would be a little rough around the edges with them at first, but they're all good people. They're all supportive people. She'd get along. See her as diamond cutter material. Jeffrey also got hit with the same rock as Starline. Because why not?
Good.
And
Good.
What was the other Archie one?
Did you answer Mina or Julie Sue?
Mina. Okay, Mina. She and Tangle are insta besties.
There you go. All right, Hero of Light 13 has a question. Did Black Doom physically exist before the Time Eater stuff, or was he messing with Shadow from within his own mind or something?
The intention was that he had resurrected on the Ark before the Time Eater popped out.
All right, DDR Master M, sponsored on behalf of Rabbit Happer, has a question. Where does Crisis City fall on the Waffle House Index?
The Waffle House Index?
The Waffle House Index. You're not familiar with that, Ian?
I'm not familiar with the Waffle House.
The Waffle House Index is basically like, is Waffle House open after a natural disaster? Yes, then that means everything's okay. If Waffle House is closed after a natural disaster, that's bad. That means it's real bad.
It's open, but it only has one waitress and one cook.
Okay. That's all you need. Waffle House Index is basically, is it the end of the world? If it's open, then no, we're good. If it's closed, then that's bad.
Well, I mean, Silver had to eat something at some point.
True. Yes. That would make the most sense. JP21 has a question. Question, when it comes to Mega Man and Sonic, how different would you rate them today with IDW being canon, especially with the X and Zero timelines?
I mean, if the crossover were to happen today, it wouldn't be any different.
No, not the first one, at least, not Worlds Collide.
Yeah, no, that would
practically
that one
the
I
same.
wasn't. Yeah, I was rating Game Sonic in mind more with that one than anything else. I mean, yeah, it had ties to the Archie continuity, but I was thinking Game Sonic specifically to be more accessible to a broader audience. And with Worlds Unite, again, pretty much the same because we had already done the Genesis wave and I was writing Sonic to be more in line with the game counterpart anyway. So it would just be a change in the extended cast.
Yeah. That would make the most sense. SimpGod21 has a question. Does Shadow need an emerald to use short teleport?
The Chaos Snap, little blip blip.
I'm guessing so.
No, he can do that on his own.
Okay.
My understanding is he can do that on his own.
Yep.
Once again, do not mistake my confidence for comprehension.
All right. Here's one from KB. Was Shadow not saying damn in Shadow Generations a mandate by Sega?
I never went there.
You didn't even
so
try?
I don't know if there would be any kind of oversight.
You didn't even try? Okay, fine.
No.
Why not?
No.
It would have been the first thing I tried. That's probably why I'm not the Sonic guy.
Believe it or not, I do have limits to what I will reference.
You have restraint? I don't believe that.
It's rare, but it happens.
Okay. Curse you, Ian. Missed opportunity. Damn, not here. Walter is here with the question. Tails has a particularly bad day. During an argument, he flips off both Sonic and Amy. How would they react?
Sonic would be kind of surprised. Amy would be rather shocked and scandalized, and she's going to make sure that doesn't happen again. You are going to learn your lesson, young man.
And we got one for Professor Scruffy Matt. Did you both have a good Christmas?
Did you, Kyle?
It was all right.
Good.
Did you, Ian?
No. To be perfectly honest, it's been pretty dismal since September, but let's not get into that. We're answering questions for folks here and now.
That's okay. I still appreciate you, Ian. I'm still happy you're here.
Likewise.
You had a Christmas with a small kitten, so must have been... It's been a little rough.
He's a small kitten, but he's more of a disease vector.
Oh, boy. How dare you say that about Vector? What did he ever do to you? I'm not a disease. Joe M has a question. Why don't the other characters try to go super? Do they just instinctively know who can do it and who can't?
I guess the question is, when have they had an opportunity to do so?
Yeah.
Because usually, off the top of my head, for all I can remember, is that Sonic's got the emeralds, and he just do.
Yep.
I mean, I know there's heroes in 06, points of contention, but beyond that, I can't really think of an instance where one of the other characters has all 7 by their lonesome. So, it might just be a matter of opportunity. I don't know.
Yes. All right, Strange has a question. If Mephiles and Infinite met, how do you think they'd get along? Would Infinite admire him or find himself superior? Would they both complain to each other about Shadow?
I think Infinite would think himself superior and Mephiles would let him.
I mean, that works.
Like, Mephiles is very much the devil on the hill.
Literally.
He will tempt and manipulate Infinite to his own ends, and Infinite will go for it for the power.
All right. Retsupe has a question. Why does there seems to be a back down of communication between you and Evan on what you want to do with the characters? I'm assuming they meant breakdown.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not going to say anything outright that would undermine or spoil what Evan's doing. when if she's expressed opinions about characters that are counter to my interpretation, that's fine. Different creatives have different outlooks. We answer to the same licensor.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Sega makes the final decision, so. Mr. Krabs and Mr. Crab. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I've got a small run coming up in IDW, but I ran those pitches by her to make sure it would work with her grander vision. So I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
All right, here's one from Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs. The rematch we've all been waiting for. Sonic and Tingle versus the mysterious bunny lady and Big the Cat. This match will be legendary. How does it go?
Mysterious bunny lady.
I'm not familiar. What's the mysterious bunny lady?
Is this a surreptitious nod to Bunny Rabbit?
No, I don't think so. We know who she is. Who's the bunny lady?
Vanilla moonlighting as a luchador.
Is this Vanilla? Yeah, okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, oh, okay, it's Vanilla. Okay, yeah. It's like Vanilla's secret wrestling. Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've got a retired Helldiver and a living god. Sonic Tangle doesn't stand a chance.
Pretty much. Makes sense to me.
I mean, in Sonic's case, it really comes down to, is the sick vocal track kicking in yet? Because if not, no.
Yes. Or no. I don't know. Whatever, man. Here's one from Mark Beetle. What if Infinite defeated Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and Super Silver in a 3-on-1 battle at the beginning of Forces?
I'd like to know what he's cooking with.
That'd be a very short game. Unless the game is playing Infinite. Unless Infinite becomes the main character. Sonic is dead. Now Infinite is the main character of this franchise. Wow. Shocking. Congratulations, all three of you Infinite fans out there. All right, Knuckles Omega has a question. Knuckles, Tails, Shadow, Rouge, Big, and Silver pilot the Dinozords from the Dragon Megazord. How does it go? That's a lot of characters and a lot of scenarios. What is the Dragon Megazord? I don't even know. Is that the Green Megazord? Green Ranger? I don't know.
No, that's just the Dragon Zord.
To form the Dragon Megazord. Okay.
I think that one was like the Ninja Rangers.
Was that it? Okay.
I think so.
I don't remember that.
That's about the time I fell off because,
yeah,
you didn't have the cool jumpsuits. They were just colorful ninja. You didn't have Tyrannosaurus. You had a lion. Get out of here.
Poor Adam was a frog.
So I don't know really how it would go. I pretty much haven't in any of these scenarios, but if the threat is sufficient, perhaps they can all work together enough to use. How did they control the Zords? Was it like joysticks?
I don't know. Steering wheels.
I remember the original
joysticks.
Zords. It was kind of like a crystal joystick type of thing that came out of the power coin or something.
Steering wheels, joysticks. Is probably all sorts of different ones. I don't know.
Perhaps it's interpretive dance.
Perhaps it could be. I don't know. I mean, at least one of the Megazords was a train at one point, so why not? Or made up of trains, at least. All right, Hobo Joe has a question. In the wake of murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, you have the opportunity to do a Sonic visual novel. The cuffs are off. What would you like to see or do?
We've done something like this before, and I think a Chaotix mystery would be the most fitting.
Yes.
Or give it to Amy. Let it be like Amy setting off on what's supposed to be a simple shopping day, and it turns into this big grand adventure where she helps everyone, and she finally gets home at the end and realizes she forgot the milk.
Oh no.
The whole reason she went outside.
Oh crap. All right, Gage H has a question. The next evolution and its inhabitants exist outside of space-time. How do they view space-time, and is space-time being described as space and time in general, or the space-time continuum of the Archie multiverse?
Back that one up just a little bit.
What
Start again?
are you talking about? The next evolution and its inhabitants exist outside of space-time. How do they view space-time, and is space-time being described as space and time in general, or the space-time continuum of the Archie Sonic multiverse?
I'm not sure I follow.
What is
If
the
we're going,
next evolution?
well, they're saying Archieverse, so I'm inclined to think the like Chaos Force Ascendant Spirits, all the previous Guardians and Aurora and all that,
Maybe.
because they could observe from the outside, couldn't they?
I have no idea. The next
And-
evolution. Is that something else? Is this like a question about a crossover franchise? Like,
Well, because I seem to remember when it was phrased as evolution when Knuckles died and ascended to Aurora. She's like, you're not dead. You evolved into a new form and then evolved further beyond the individual self, if I remember correctly. So, if we're going off of that scenario, then the other Guardians seem to have a concept of how long they had been there and what had transpired. So I guess they would have a concept of space and time in the conventional sense? Question mark? Rising falsetto voice?
I have no idea. I think it's too late for. I think I'm lost. What? Your Knuckles is evolving. What? Hold on. Hero Squad has a question. Since Mega Man was originally named Rock, I want to ask, what do you imagine each Robot Master was originally called? And was Fireman originally Sam?
No, Rock, as his original construction, was just Rock.
Just Rock.
And then upgraded, at least in terms of how we interpreted it with the Archie continuity. But the other Robot Masters were built with their name and purpose in mind. So Gutsman was always Gutsman. Fireman was always Fireman.
Yes. I believe that was the intent, yes. Question from Knuckles Omega. A new comic Power Rangers Prime has a new team, the Prime Rangers. Red T-Rex is female and pink Velociraptor is male. Other new are blue Elsmothurium, a yellow Terror Bird, and black Titanoboa. Like a giant snake?
Yep.
Pretty cool. Prime Rangers. They're big. Neat. So there's Dino Rangers now, literally.
Okay. Good.
Sweet. All right.
Was that a question or a statement?
No, that's it. That's all. That's all it said.
Okay, no. I mean, that's enough to make me want to check it out. Add it to the list.
All right. The Deleter has a question. Addendum to my earlier question. The reason why it's likely they were gone is because Shadow attempted to contact them diplomatically before they ignored him. That on top of their military beetles, soldiers, scientists, etc. So let's go back to what their previous question was about.
Oh, it was about a corrupt gun. And
That's right.
I mean, Occam's razor, that certainly sounds like gun, unless it is a terrorist group that stole gun assets. And Shadow trying to be diplomatic. You got me there. I don't know.
Gage H has a question. Regarding the Chaos Force, are we to view it as a realm that is vaster / bigger than everything? Spatial-temporal objects included, present in the Archie Sonic cosmology?
Okay, that gives my previous answer a little more credence. We're talking about Chaos Force here.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how it was contextualized back then. It's been a while since I've had to wade into the Archie lore. And I think it was supposed to be a transcendent dimensional plane, like the energy that bound to the universe, which I guess in that regard is kind of infinite in terms, I guess, spatially. I don't know. We're getting
No.
into a realm of fantasy physics beyond my kin.
No, Ian. Infinite is a jackal.
Hey, you're a jackal.
Thank you.
I got nothing.
Hero Squad has a question. Popeye enters public domain in 2025. Are you intrigued?
Little dreading, I'm sure, what will be the vile but inevitable horror movie spinoff.
Why
I
not?
have
Why
seen
only
some-
one?
And I have seen some discussion over just what goes public domain. Like, I've heard the title itself is still under copyright, and what under the Popeye IP, like, is Bluto on the table as well, olive oil, or is it just the concept of Popeye as he was originally envisioned in 1925? Is there other distinction in later incarnations that people can hold on to?
Yeah,
So-
the spinach thing is not in yet, as far as I know.
Which is so weird to think about.
I know. Well, I mean, it was basically like a product placement advertising.
Mm-hmm. So-
Olive oil is apparently already public domain.
Really?
Yeah. She
Huh.
existed before Popeye?
Wild.
Interesting. Yeah.
So it already sounds too messy for me to want to wade into those waters, but it will be interesting to see what other people do with it that isn't creatively bankrupt
Yeah.
with that kind of freedom.
Sounds like Bluto is later. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know there's this whole thing with Bluto and Brutus, and it only recently kind of came into some kind of equilibrium. I don't know. I have enough understanding of Popeye lore to understand I don't understand.
yeah. All right. Here's one from Mark Beetle. How would you incorporate the bartendress rabbit from Korokoro Besatsu, February 1994 manga, into the current canon?
I am not familiar with a bartender rabbit,
I do not know.
but I mean, somebody's got to be serving drinks at Club Rouge.
There you go. All right, Gay has a question. For Sonic and DC crossover, are the characters for Sonic being used the main continuity, and the DC comic characters used Earth Zero / main continuity?
You will have to read to find out. Can't talk about nothing unofficially.
Arc Beetle has a question. Sonic Dream Team, but Eggman is absent, and REM is the true villain. How it goes?
Play it straight from the get-go that Cream somehow fell into this dream realm, and Ariam is the good custodian that's trying to guide them to her. And then your mid-game twist is they finally find Cream against all odds, and she's like, "You have to get me out of here. That Ram lady's crazy." And then Ariam's like, "Near her, now I will eat all your dreams," or something. And then you do the villainous reveal.
Good. Hero Squad has another question. You, yes, you, funny writer guy. You were tasked to hilariously contextualize Waluigi making steamed hams for Wario. What is the reason?
The reason is to do the bit.
You
You don't need contextualizing it. You just do the bit, word for word, shot for shot, with the two of them.
What is going on in your kitchen?
The Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this latitude, in your kitchen. Yes. Can I see it? No.
No.
So is it Captain Syrup at the top window going, "The house is on fire"?
Yes. Yes. Arc Beetle has another question. Sally announces in the Acorn News Network when she is going to masticate nuts. This has been a recurring issue. How can Bunny, Dulcie, Lupe, and Nicole stop her from practicing such a bad habit? Haven't we answered this before? It sounds very familiar.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. I won't miss these questions, Ian. Not gonna lie.
They give her a stern talking to after the last time she does it.
I'm not going to miss these questions. Thank you for your support. I'm not going to miss your questions. Vinny L has a question. Ranking 1 being the most temperamental and 4 being the least, how would you rank Sonic, Shadow, Amy, and Silver in terms of controlling their emotions?
So 1 was like
The-
0 chill, and 10 was like hyper control.
Ranking 1 is being the most temperamental and 4 being the least. It's 1 through 4. So I guess ordering them 1 through 4. Like who would be the most temperamental and who would be the least?
Most kind of depends on which era of Amy. No, most I'm going to have to give to Silver.
Yeah.
Because Silver trusted the no mouth spooky man to go back in time and kill a dude just on trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
Good intentions. I can't fault him for that. But yeah, I want to totally trust this guy and go get this other guy. Bye. No.
Poor Silver.
Amy S2 because she is very passionate, for good or for ill.
Yes.
3 is for Sonic because he's, the definition of cool. He's usually chill, even at his most extreme. He's kind of reserved when he needs to be. And Shadow, Shadow's almost always got it on lockdown.
Yeah, usually. Usually to his detriment. The detriment of his mental health, but whatever.
If you disagree, please feel free to comment below.
He's immortal. What does it matter? Sibuna Ara has a question. How would Eclipse's dark arms interact with the wisp that Sonic befriended, as they look similar and have the power to change the user's form? Do you think they'd befriend Dark Chow? Dark is in the name.
My intention with the dark arms were that even though they were very supportive of Eclipse, they were still black arms in nature and vile little bitey monster thingies. So no, they would not get along with anybody outside of Eclipse. They would be very much bitey, fighty.
All right, Darth Lord has a question. It's the infamous Fiona slaps Tails scene, but now in the IDW verse. How do the IDW heroes like Tangle Whisperer and Jewel react?
Kind of weird to think of IDW Tails in that scenario at all. But all right, working with the assumption that Fiona has joined the group and has betrayed the group, and Tails was kind of close to her. Let's see. We had, who was it again? Tangle,
Whisper, and Jewel.
Tangle's gonna slap her right back with that tail, no hesitation.
Yeah.
If Whisper's got the wisp on hand, she's pulling the trigger, no hesitation. And Jewel's gonna be checking on Tails in the meanwhile.
There we go. All right. Darth Lord has another question. After a personal arc, Shard gains the trust of the Wisp. What potential does he gain from this upgrade?
He is the Wispon.
Oh boy. That would make sense.
I mean, he's got the arm cannon. He's basically Sonic Mega Man at that point.
Yeah. Guess that's true. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that would be pretty cool.
And given his personality, he's going to be yelling out the color powers as he does it. Laser! Spike! Block!
Yes. Good. I miss Shard. Shard was great.
He screams out, rocket! And then hits him with the green hover. They're all confused and he goes, gotcha.
All right, guys. Any questions that aren't about Sonic? I'm going to save for after the new year. So if you're wondering why I'm moving some of these over, that's why. So we'll get to them. Just thank you for your support. Just doing that. So Darth Lord, Nicole versus Sage in a game of chess. Who wins?
I feel like we did this one.
I feel like this is very familiar. Yeah.
Because the answer came to mind. I'm like, wait a minute. Because I feel like Sage, because she would be more willing to sacrifice pieces to win.
Yeah. I mean, that would make the most sense. All right. And we'll go ahead and move this one over to next year. It's about Dragoons, so we'll get to it. We'll get to that one in the future. So thank you for your support. Thank you for bearing with us. Caden Clock 39. One for Mark Beetle. Sonic X Metarex Saga, but with the Hobodon instead of Crest. How's it go?
What is the Hobodon?
Hobodon? I don't know. I thought maybe you knew.
Quick Google search.
Frost the Hobodon? That's someone who asks questions.
Oh, it's the little lion guy, mascot fella.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, is this okay from Sonic? Okay, actually from Sonic X. Okay, there you go.
I mean, in terms of Sonic X, I think all he did was give a warning message.
He looks kind of like Kimba.
A little bit.
It's supposed to.
I'd still take him over Chris. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I'd take
Metallic Saga, but better.
I'd take pretty much anybody over Chris, to be honest with you. But whatever.
That's not fair. Chris was tolerable in season 3.
Yeah, well, he had to get through season 1 and 2 to get there.
And to be fair, he also barely did anything in season 3. Hi-oh!
Not worth it. Not worth it. Sorry, all 2 Chris fans out there. Pretty sure there's more Infinite fans than there are Chris fans.
Ooh. Shots fired.
What are they going to do? Come at us and ask us about it? Can't answer, so. All right, let's keep going. Sabuna R has a question. Or a statement? It was fun coming in for a first and last bout of Sonic questions. Just want to say thank you for answering some of my questions. Happy New Year. Thank you,
Happy
Sabuna.
New Year to you too. Thank you so much for your support and your questions, and that goes for all of y'all.
Yes, indeed. We are still going, though. We still have more. DDR Master M, Starline Swapsakai. Starline awakes as Shadow the Hedgehog. Can he handle those powers effectively? How bizarre is it to hear him with Shadow's voice?
I can't sing show tunes like this. This is awful.
But he would try.
I'm singing in the rain. Yes, singing in the rain.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Also, which Shadow at which point?
Yes.
Although, does that maybe that explains his characterization in SA2?
Uh-huh.
You know, the whole canister opens up and he rises dramatically. You've awakened me, my master, so I will grant you any wish. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
All right, Darth Lord has a question. Tangle and Whisper visit Twinkle Park. What happens? Well, I can tell you they get in free.
They have a grand old time.
Good.
I mean, Whisper has to convince Tangle not to jump out of the roller coaster as it's running. Yes, it would be more fun that way, but there are rules for a reason.
Rules? Rules are for losers. And here's another one from Mark Beetle. Surge's girlfriend. What can you say about this hypothetical character? They either have a ton of patience or are just as unhinged and broken as Surge is.
Oh no, they're codependent. Hey, we we got a pretty blank canvas here. Is this someone that's going to heal Surge or validate?
Why not both? I don't know how we do both, but why not both? No one tell
Also,
Kit. No one tell Kit.
Since Starline's off getting isekai, I guess this would be our Knuckles analog.
I guess. Could be.
I don't know. I feel like I'm staggering slowly closer to a full OC here, and maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm just saying the core concept is rife with potential to be explored.
Yes. All right. And another one from Gage H. Since Supersonic erased the Chaos Force and the beings who reside there, other higher dimensional planes and the multiverse, wouldn't that Supersonic, let alone Ultrasonic, pummel Dark Enerjack?
When did Sonic wipe out the Chaos Force?
I don't know.
I don't remember that happening.
This feels like some power scaling nonsense going on here.
I'm literally trying to think back. Like, I don't think I really touched the Chaos Force for the most part on purpose.
Oh man. That's my feelings.
Also, Ultrasonic was something else entirely, so I don't know.
Whatever you want.
I mean, in the end, rule of cool.
Pretty much. General Jimmy's has a question. In Sonic X, we got to meet the man who killed Maria. When he was telling his story to a journalist, he sounded very remorseful. How would Shadow react to this man if the two met face to face?
This would be the Sonic X incarnation of Shadow, and while that's pretty much there's a bit of nuance there. I don't know. I could see it as him very grimly listening to the story unfold and dispassionately witnessing the breakdown. And you think he's about to do something, and he just turns and leaves. Is that acceptance? Is that forgiveness? We don't know, and he's not going to say.
All right. Arcbeetle has a question. Another one. How would you write Moby and Latinas?
The same as anybody else?
Yeah, but Shadow specifically loves them, right?
Well, good for him.
I mean, he said it. Shadow has said it. Nixie Kitty has a question. Is Shadow a hedgehog alien hybrid or just a hedgehog-shaped alien?
I don't think Gerald ever really specified exactly what it was.
I'm going to go with yes.
Just have a big old hedgehog-shaped cookie cutter and pour the alien goo into it. Turn on the Easy Bake Oven.
All right. Arcbeetle has another question. Oh, yeah. What if Shadow was the biological son of Black Doom, Gerald, and a female Mobian hedgehog? How would that work?
It'd be a very different origin story.
Yes. We're all the same.
And I'd have to revise the journal again.
Oh, crap. Oh, boy. Arcbeetle has a whole line of questions here, so we might as well just do them.
All right. These all come from Arcbeetle. You tell us when they're done.
What if Sage was the biological daughter of Eggman and Catella, the Huntress? Awkward.
She wouldn't be a digital being in that case.
No.
I imagine.
No. Bit awkward.
Maybe she would have the red hair. Well, I guess she would have to. I mean, between the two of them.
I mean,
They're
yeah.
both redheads.
Yeah, I guess. Well, not head, but, mustache for Eggman. All right. What story would you write for Sonic X Rouge Unleashed?
Ooh. In the vein of Sonic X Shadow Generations.
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Ooh.
So, like, would this be Vampire Rouge then? Because if Sonic becomes the werehog and Rouge is a bat, I think maybe she'd become a vampire. That'd be kind of cool.
Does she have to transform? Why not
She doesn't
use
have to, but, just an idea.
I mean, Werehog had a lot of, climbing and balancing and beat 'em up mechanics. So add a glide in there and just make it a heist story for Rouge. Like maybe she's looking for artifacts for Gun to combat the Dark Gaia thing, except they're all very secured in various museums or ruins around the world, and she has to go procure them. And once the evil eyeball lizard thing is dealt with, she has all these treasures that she'll return eventually.
Someday.
Maybe have her do the globetrotting thing herself and go into new locations. Maybe look at the extended cast through her eyes. That might be fun.
Yeah. Shane will probably never see it. But it would be fun. I do still want a Knuckles and Rouge game. Yeah. What story would you write for a Shadow Generations game that took place after Sonic Dream Team?
Wouldn't really work because the whole gimmick is it's time eater shenanigans.
Yeah.
Unless,
I guess you should just say a Shadow game after Sonic Dream Team.
well, I mean, if we're going to use Dream Team as a basis, maybe use that as the setting and it's Shadow reliving memories in the form of dreams. Same general effect, just not time travel. It's psychological.
Something like that, I suppose.
I don't know, something has infected the Requiem. Maybe it's Black Doom yet again. Can't get rid of this guy. Have to restore the memories properly by fighting off nightmares.
Yep.
Spitballing here off the top of my head.
Yep. Alrighty. Which Moby and Cat would win this free-for-all? Blaze, Ebony, Hershey, Honey, or Girl Kisser?
Girl Kisser.
Who's Girl Kisser?
Oh my.
Good for them. I mean, sure, but who are they? Is this a reference to something?
So who else is in the lineup?
Which Moby and Cat would win this free-for-all? Blaze, Ebony, Hershey, Honey, or Girl Kisser?
I mean, love Honey. Don't know a ton about Ebony's power set, but I kind of give this to Blaze.
I mean, it has to be Blaze. I mean,
that's kind of her thing. She's kind of overpowered.
Blaze, yeah, whoever Girl Kisser is. Is that a fan thing?
I have no idea.
Are you trying to get Ian to engage with fan stuff? I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. All right, Arc Beetle has several more questions. Jeez. This is
Arc Beetle got a lot of Christmas money.
This is an Arc Beetle mini in the middle of this one, and they spent a lot more than a mini to get it.
Well, thank you for your support.
Thank you very much, Arc Beetle. Thank you. To date, Sally, Sonic must defeat her 7 evil ex-girlfriends. How does it go?
Super fast because he's just that charming and he gets out of every fight.
Of course he does. If you had to make Dexter, Amy's made-up boyfriend from Sonic Chronicles, an actual character, what's he like? How would he interact with Sonic, Amy, Rouge, and Sally?
I don't know. Maybe make him a villain.
I mean, that would be kind of funny.
Make him some kind of... Amy needs a good antithesis foil. You use Dexter for that. Why not? Where she's all about, love and support for everyone around her. He's a very selfish kind of laser focus, toxic kind of love.
Maybe it's Dexter Jetster from Star Wars.
No, because I like him.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, instead of your idea, it's just Dexter Jetster.
I mean, yeah. If he's just there to be cool with everybody, sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure he can make a mean chili dog.
Yep. And the last one from Mark Beetle. If you had to write a connection between Majin, Mephiles, and Infinite, what would such a connection be?
Ooh, say that the Majin demon is an evil that can transcend dimensions, that it manifested in a form that was Mephiles, and Infinite is looking for a new power source and somehow finds Mephiles despite all the timey-wimey wibbly-wobbly.
Alrighty. Pixauce has a question. In Gerald's diary, certain terms are scored out for unrevealed characters, Gerald's sons, but also oddly whenever obvious characters / terms are referenced. Why is this when we can easily deduce these?
Because the intention, at least on my end, was that Gunn went through and redacted a bit. Mostly names. But, we also wanted this to be a viable lore source. So if we cut out stuff that would make it more confusing, that would kind of defeat the point. So, yeah, some of them are fairly obvious.
All right, Bunny Bell 3 has a question. Starline's isekais into a Hallmark rom-com movie. Any season, it's all the same. What happens to him?
I don't understand, Stephanie. You had a good job here in the city, and then you meet this bumpkin for all of 24 hours. Oh, you went to high school together. You weren't even prom queen. Oh, and now you're crying. You're going to ruin Christmas for everybody.
So someone literally murders him for being obnoxious. And that's how the isekai adventures continue.
No, Tad, I don't think you're really going to throw me into that hay thresher. Ah!
Do it. Do it. And we got another one from M. How would the 4 I asked about last time stem and... That's it. That's where it ends.
Did they ask about the emotional ranking?
I know. I think it's the autism ADHD ones about
okay
that one. Yeah.
And
how would they stem? I guess how would that present? Like, what would they do? I mean, Sonic is just running, probably.
I don't know. I'm not well enough versed into those conditions to make a tasteful response. And I think any kind of riffing would just be tasteless.
Yeah.
So I'll abstain from that one. Sorry.
We know Sonic's got a lot of impatient tics, so maybe one of those. But yeah. Johnny Gyro has a question. In the future, an older sage has gotten a crush. The twist? It's Mega Man. How do Eggman, Rock, and Roll all react?
Sage? He's 8. By design. Don't be creepy.
Is he? Well, she's
Rock?
like, what is
Mega
it?
Man? Yes.
What is her by design, though? What is her age by design?
Well, she wasn't by design. She was Eggman's little happy accident.
She's also a child, right? Like,
yeah, I don't like questions about children having crushes on other children.
I mean, it's weird, yeah, but I'm just saying.
There's an innocent way to take it. I understand that. It's the internet.
Yeah, well, it's already too late, probably. So, yeah, all right. Here's one from the Vortex of Flames. Did you enjoy writing Julie Sue, and would you have done more with her?
Yes and yes.
Yes. All right, Chaos Sonic 1 has a question. Since the shipping is done with Sonic for now, Amy, Sally, and Mina start a polycule with Sonic. How do things go?
Hopefully lovingly and supportively.
Why did they need Sonic in there? Seems like he'd be kind of like the fourth wheel, I guess. He's just kind of there. You don't need that guy. Walter has a question. Sonic finds out Tails has an alcohol problem. What happens next? How did he get an alcohol problem? He's 8!
He sits him down and has a good long talk with him and is supportive and helps him get sober.
This is a Sonic Says bit.
It really is. A very special episode of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Adventures of, specifically. Ain't no drinking age on Sonic's World. Sonic Says had one on smoking. Probably had one on drugs, too. I mean, kind of the same. It's Hobo Joe has a question. It's our second to last one. I don't think either of you even talked about your experiences with Sat AM growing up. Considering there won't be another chance, can you share what it was like being there in the 90s or just the show? No, we've talked about it before. Definitely.
Yeah, but it was something I actively sought out.
Yeah, same.
And it took me a while. I didn't realize it was only on Saturday mornings at first. So I would catch a lot of Adventures of and be very disappointed, angry even. Because, you know, I wanted to see Sat AM.
No, I figured out that they were two different shows pretty early on. And
Well, I knew they were different shows. I just didn't understand why one was airing more than the other, because one was obviously superior.
Well, yeah, but still, I liked both of them.
No bootleg versions over here.
I also have a kind of vivid memory of we were staying over at my grandparents' house, and the only TV in the entire house was in a kind of sitting room that was an extension of the bedroom. So I was kind of just eagerly waiting for them to wake up so I could go into that room and watch TV and watch Sat AM.
Yeah. I don't really have a good anecdote for Sat AM so much. I have one for Adventures of. But I mean, they were about the same time. They kind of got mixed up in my head. I was like, yeah, maybe like Adventures was first or something. I don't know. I had weird ideas as a kid, but I remember very distinctly. I've always kind of associated Sonic's birthday with Thanksgiving, even though I know it's not, because that was the episode of Adventures of that was showed on Thanksgiving one year, and I remember being over at my uncle's house, and we put it on the TV. And we're like, oh, it's Sonic's birthday episode. So I was kind of like thinking that Sonic's birthday was always Thanksgiving, not June. So, you know. But I mean, I watched a ton of Sat AM, so I watched both of them and enjoyed both of them because why not? All right, Ian, last question we have. This one is sponsored by Jen, the best, most excellent, marvelous, magnificent, outstanding, wonderful, great one. On behalf of Aleph Null. Ian, for the last BumbleKast Live with Sonic questions, can we hear Dr. Starline singing My Way? Feel like this is like the third time you've done this. Definitely one that's come up before.
Let me find the lyrics.
Okay, pull it up. We'll at least do like a truncated version. I know we're like 3 hours into this, so
Just do the chorus.
yeah, do like the first verse with chorus or something. You don't have to ruin your voice with the whole thing.
Sorry, it was a freebie. I had to.
Okay.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way.
Amazing.
Yes, slay! According to Magpie.
And then Starline got slayed for the last time. Except not really. We still have one more episode we're recording, so we'll get to that.
That's it. We're caught up on Superchats.
You okay, Ian? Yeah, we said Superchats, except there's some that we're saying holding on for 2025. So
that's fine. That's fine. But
yeah.
We made it through the backlog.
Yep. Sorry, folks who are who asked standard questions. I'm very sorry we didn't get to you. You did ask a few non-Sonic questions, so we'll get to those in the next year. So thank you for asking so much of us and for supporting us, for being there with us. Hope you will stick around as we go into 2025. We have one last priority episode coming up this year. It'll be released on Tuesday, December 31st. So you won't want to miss that one. And
thank you, everybody, for all that you've done for us over the years.
Yes.
For this long, wild episode. Thank you to my vocal cords for maintaining that falsetto.
And for holding out at the end of this episode for 3 hours, and you still managed to pull that off. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, you have to give the people what they want, Lyle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And also don't forget, we'll be at MagFest at the end of January. Holy crap.
Yep.
That's going to be amazing. We're going to have a ton of fun there. So you'll want to be there. We're doing a BumbleKast at the beginning and a BumbleKast at the end. So you'll want to be sure to get in there for our panels. So
Yep.
We've got a mod panel going on too with BumbleKrew, and also Ian is doing a panel all by his lonesome talking about writing and all that fun stuff.
I've got a whole lecture on the process.
Yes. So that'll be very awesome as well. So if you happen to be in the Baltimore, D.C. area, then why not head on over there and check us out at MagFest.
Until then, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Have a happy new year. And we'll see you next time on the BumbleKast.
See you guys later. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody all over. See you guys next time.